Yeah, I repurposed that. What are you gonna do, right?
That's awesome.
I whipped it together so we could come on and do something. So I didn't want to just go straight from a countdown like last time.
Yeah. All right.
So our long overdue NFL offseason show,
Yeah.
if you
Long
will.
overdue.
So
things started happening so long time ago. I might have to look a couple of things up.
well, it's funny you say
memory.
that. I actually have the free agency tracker page open, so I'll bring that up. That'll be our cheat sheet, our Cliff Notes.
I mean, I've been following it, but a lot of stuff is happening.
Same. But you see what happened to Justin Lane from the Steelers today?
No, I didn't see today. No.
He got pulled over at like 2 a.m. yesterday in Ohio. Fully loaded gun.
Wow.
The car was, reeking of pot.
Holy cow.
He was going 90 in a 55. So,
man.
We'll see what happens.
Hopefully it's early enough that it might not suspend them or anything.
Jeez. Yeah. Well, we'll see. I also saw Steve McMichael. Did you see that? From the Bears? Some bad news. He got diagnosed with ALS today.
Wow. I didn't even see any news today about it. But okay.
Hey, Six is in the chat. Hey. Want to watch football?
I know. Are you at the football too? It'd be great because we don't get a lot of...
No, usually nobody watches these, and then we put them up, and then we get something on them.
Yeah.
We'll see. Yeah. But we promised this, like, when was the Super Bowl? 2 months ago now.
Has it? Let's see.
Oops.
Yeah. Maybe 3 months.
A horrible disease.
Yeah.
So, ALS. I thought you were making fun of me. Sorry. I thought you were making fun of me. Yes, it is. In fact, one of my best friends, guy I considered a big brother to me, Dennis Peters, who was co-producing the Charlton Comics movie with me, passed away from that.
Wow.
5 years ago now. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Yep. So it is horrible. And it got him quick. I mean, he started complaining that his legs were going numb a lot and stuff. And they thought he had Lyme disease, and they were testing him for all this stuff. And every time I was in LA, I would go, hey, hook up with Den. He's from here. He moved to LA in 2008. And then he started saying, no, I can't. And then he said he was going to the Mayo Clinic. And they flew him to the Mayo Clinic. And that was January of 2016, right around Christmas time, right after Christmas. And I got an email from one of our mutual friends 2 weeks later that he was diagnosed with ALS and he had 2 weeks to live.
Jeez.
And he died February 1st, 2016.
I can't even wrap my mind around like being told that like you have this and you have 2 weeks to live. Holy cow.
Yeah.
He out of my mind.
He was the big brother I never had. And I was going to go see him at the hospital. I was going to fly out to Minnesota the weekend he died. And his brother told me not to come. He wasn't going to, he said, by the time you get here, he'll be gone.
Oh.
So he put me on the phone with Den, who couldn't talk anymore. What happened, he went so fast because instead of like losing his motor skills in his extremities, it attacked his swallowing and breathing first.
Right.
So he lost control of that. And they wanted to put him on tubes and stuff, and Den said, no, put me in hospice. I'm not gonna drag this out. And his brother said he can hear you. He can hear everything you're saying, but he can't respond. And that was one of the worst phone calls I've ever made.
It must be tough.
It was awful. And I was at work, and I remember they opened the door to the edit suite, and I was just bawling, and they closed the door.
Yeah.
And it was awful. It's awful. Yep. And you've seen the residual fallout from losing him on the Charlton project. So, damn it, Dennis. Supposed to finish that. So, yeah. Sports talk?
Yeah, 6. We haven't done one of these in a while.
It is sports stock.
Oh, she was freaking. I didn't realize that. I didn't even notice that she said stock.
I just mushed the words into one word because I'm clever like that.
I thought she meant She never heard of like us doing because we don't
Oh,
usually we only do football and it was off season. So
we call it sports talk and we don't talk about any other sport. Well, to be fair, my nephew was supposed to do hockey and
yes,
baseball and all these things, and we were going to do a little baseball, but I haven't watched any baseball this year, and there's no time.
I meant to say that we started just doing football because we were right in the middle of football season, and then we were
Correct.
going to move on to other sport like hockey. I know we both agreed that Jeff was good at it, and neither one of us really followed the NBA. Probably, and I don't follow baseball anymore, probably for the same reason as I don't follow NBA because they got too political.
Too
So,
political, and I don't have time. I just don't have time. I mean, I
yep,
kind of know what's going on, sort of like wins and
yeah,
losses, and I know the Yankees
yep.
are awful,
Yeah, they're doing awful.
which is kind of funny when you think about it because they spend all that money. And oh, thank you, Six. Yeah, that was rough. It was rough. I think about Dennis a lot. And 5 years ago, February 1st, but he wouldn't. He was the kind of guy. He actually said, "Yeah, you could. You want to talk about jump rope?
Oh, we didn't invite anybody to talk about any
Yeah,
sport.
anything." Um,
Our last special, I think, was the underwater bowling special, but we can talk about
the
jump rope.
underwater bowling was good. But yeah, Dennis wouldn't want me to lament his loss. He actually said to his girlfriend on his deathbed, he said, "How awesome is this? I get to direct my death."
Jeez.
Always the director, Dennis Peters.
Wow.
Yeah. Yep. So, but he's one of those guys, you don't take his contacts out of your phone. His Twitter's still up, and
Yep.
so. All right. Well, should we get to more happier stuff? More happier is the
Well,
sign of a public education.
I don't know if it's going to be happier, but it'll be less.
It'll be funny
Yeah.
because the very
Fun.
first free agent on this list is hilarious. Somebody paid money for Mitch Trubisky.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm trying to think. Where did he go?
He went to Buffalo.
Oh, right. It's a backup
He went to
situation.
Buffalo. 1 year, $2.5 million.
Right. Right. Okay.
So Buffalo,
Wow.
they cashed it. They brought in Emmanuel Sanders. That's a big one.
Yeah. I mean, they obviously they have no desire to have him play quarterback. It'll be a disaster if they have him play quarterback because that'll
Yeah,
mean
you're
that
absolutely right. Because that means Josh Allen.
Josh Allen's injured, and that would be bad for them. Really
That
bad.
would be bad.
But,
So the two notable signings, I would say, are Mitch Trubisky and definitely Emmanuel Sanders. This is a huge one. Now Josh Allen has two really skilled wide receivers. And, I kind of underrate Cole Beasley a lot, but Cole Beasley's, especially in this offense, he's very productive.
yes, he is. Yep, they know how to use them. It was it's like that short across the middle. I know there's a term for that type of receiver. But
yeah, I call him the combat
slot. Catcher. Is it the slot receiver?
Slot receiver, the combat catcher, the guy who's going to go across the middle, catch it in traffic, and get smoked. When the minute he touches the ball, he's going to get laid out.
He's right in the middle where everybody's going to come at you. It's not.
Yep.
And I remember him on the Cowboys. They used him well there too. And the thing about him is he didn't make the mistake that many receivers do, which is stop before the first down. He always went beyond the first down. Made sure he got the first down.
Yeah, that's true.
Whether it's 6 yards, 7 yards, 8 yards, he made. A lot of times these receivers make the mistake. Oh, I'm going to stop before, and then they get tackled right there and useless.
Well, I think part of I think they're convinced they're going to do the yak. They're going to get yards.
Yeah, they're going to.
They're just not. It's.
But he makes sure he gets the first down.
He just seemed to drop the ball a lot in Dallas, and he doesn't drop it as much in Buffalo.
Yeah, I mean,
who knows?
Maybe he has a better rapport with this quarterback. I don't know.
They went heavy signing offensive linemen after we saw that championship game where Allen was running for his life. They clearly want to fix that problem, and
that was the first time I've seen him run for his life.
And they brought in linebacker Matt Milano for 4 years. So big moves for Buffalo, and they signed a lot of guys in free agency. Your team.
That's pretty smart with the offensive line.
Yep.
Yeah, and they did the same thing. Jacoby Brissett, same purpose.
Jacoby Brissett, right. The thing is, Brissett's actually good.
He is good. Yep.
So if Tua goes down, I don't think you're going to miss too much. I mean, the last year he played as a starter for the Colts, he was was borderline Pro Bowl that year. Remember?
Yep. He's definitely much at this stage of development for yeah, to a stage of development. They're about even right now. I
Yeah.
could probably say so.
Yep.
It wouldn't be a big drop.
No, and
Well,
they picked up Malcolm Brown from the Rams, which was the starter, but with Cam Akers out, I guess they don't want to have this expensive tandem, so they let one of them walk. But the Rams are like flushing running backs annually. It's just weird.
that next signing was my most exciting signing.
Will Fuller.
Yep. They really needed. They had like one guy, and I don't know how he kept getting 100, 150 yards every game because he was the only guy that was Parker. He was the only guy that was catching the ball.
Right.
It's like, why didn't they just triple team him? It's like they really didn't have a lot of other receivers that were doing a lot. But Will Fuller
Yeah.
would be good.
Yep. And then another receiver, Mac Hollins, re-signed. A couple of linemen. Let's see, who else did they get? There was no other really big names.
Yeah.
Just plugging some holes. This one here,
Linebacker.
McKinney from Texas, but they gave up Shaq Lawson for him. So I don't know. Shaq Lawson was he's a good player. I don't know.
I know they really needed a linebacker because for some reason they gave up on. When we get to the Patriots, I'll remember.
Oh, I know.
They gave up on this guy after 1 year after they signed him for a prime deal last year, and I don't know why. Maybe there's a personality conflict. I don't know.
It could be. It's one of those things. I remember the Steelers had a inside linebacker, Larry Foote, for their first Super Bowl run, and then he went off to Detroit, where he's from. But going home and playing for the home team didn't work out so well. He came back a year later and finished his career as a Steeler. So sometimes those things happen. You know what I mean? Like you go somewhere else and they go, you know what? Kind of liked it where I was before. It could be as simple as that. I think they only had a 1-year contract on him, right?
Yeah. No, I thought might have been more than one. I think because I think might be 2 or 3. But that's why I was so worried about. It's like, why are you giving up on him so fast? But
yeah, they gave up on him quick, and he's good.
Unfortunately,
I call him Kyle Van Noying because he's always making a play. It's annoying. I wish he was on my team. I'd be happy with him. So the Patriots, boy, you could almost hear it when you knew the Tampa Bay had the Super Bowl won, right? You could almost hear the phone call with Belichick calling up Bob Kraft. This can't stand. I need to just open the checkbook.
Yeah. We tried 1 year with
we tried it.
That's it.
Time to do things my way. Yeah. Which is weird that they went and did this right out of the gate. That was kind of weird. Because I still think, and we'll get to this when we get closer to the draft. The quick preview of the draft, but you know where I'm going with this.
Yes, I do.
The 49ers. Yeah.
I would not be surprised at all if they pulled something because I don't think they'd be happy with just having Cam Newton right now.
I can't see it. His play disintegrated over time. But he got the coof. But before he got the coof, he was playing pretty well. When he came back from that, he got worse and worse and worse.
Yep.
I mean, it was to the point where they wouldn't even let him throw the ball anymore. He just ran all the time.
He was running, and that's it. Yep.
It was really bad. They had like a high school offense. James White, he's solid. Got to bring him back, right?
He was there.
I'm shocked the Raiders let this happen.
I was like, wow, the Patriots got him. Jeez. Okay.
I know, because what Patriots been missing for 10 years at least now is a guy to stretch the field, right? A deep threat.
Yeah, and on top of that, they didn't have what receivers did they have at all?
None. Right.
Then they got Bourne too. Wow.
Yeah, so they got Kendrick Bourne too. So now they have 2 guys, but Aguilar's definitely going to be.
But yeah, he's the threat for sure. They needed him.
Then they go and pluck Hunter Henry. So here we go again now, and Jonnu Smith. So they're setting up that Gronk and the dual tight end they had with the murderer. What was his name?
Hernandez.
Thank you.
Yep.
Yeah. So so 2 tight ends, and they drafted a tight end like what was it 2 years ago?
Yeah, it wasn't last year. It was 2 years
Year
ago.
before, number 1 overall, but
Yep.
I don't think he's going to pan out. They pick
But
up Trent Brown from the Raiders. They go get a new center. I mean, 2 new centers.
2 of them.
They are totally loading up here.
A whole new defensive line. No,
A whole new defensive.
Some of them are re-signed. But
This too. Matt Judon from the Ravens. This guy, he's so disruptive. This sucks. The Patriots are going to be good again.
I know.
This sucks.
There he is, Kyle Van Noy.
Kyle Van Noy.
That the Dolphins let go.
Yeah.
I don't know what the heck going on. Why they did that, but
yeah.
They basically picked up every position.
Jalen Mills.
Yeah,
I mean,
safety, defensive back,
crazy.
Every position on defense they picked up somebody.
Justin Bethel, who's got Pro Bowl incentives in his contract, so he's a borderline Pro Bowler, and Nick Folk brought him back. Isn't he 100? Nick Folk. I think they're gonna have to cut him in half and count the rings this year because.
Wow, that was.
Then you have the New York Football Jets, who didn't really. They didn't really make any.
I mean, they picked up here. Yeah, they picked up kind of like average or below average guys to fill in spots.
You know what these guys are all? All these guys are. When you build like a rock wall or a brick wall, and you got to put all the mortar, right? Because it makes the bricks stick. These guys are just mortar, every single one of them. They're just there to kind of paste in between things.
Yep.
These are, second. This is depth chart stuff right here.
Yep.
Maybe Carl Lawson. That's a good one. But other than that,
I mean, I know they have a high draft pick, but they're not.
Sheldon Rankins. That's okay too. But they didn't make that splash signing like a lot of the other teams did. All right, let's move into the AFC North. The Baltimore Ravens, the Ratbirds, if you will, wasted a lot of money on Sammy Watkins.
Yep. Well, I think Watkins was like, "Oh, really? Wasn't he?"
He's not good. He was a number 1 pick overall by Buffalo, and he never really played to a number 1 potential ever. He's always been a decent 2 or more. Yep. Actually, he's more of a 3. He's a 3 receiver.
Had some flashes, but not consistent.
Now and then. Even playing with Patrick Mahomes, he really couldn't do a whole hell of a lot, and you would think that's where he would shine. They throw the ball 45, 50 times a game. Yeah. No, he had a good game here and there, but never put up those number 1 numbers,
Yeah.
And now he's going to a team where the guy really can't throw the ball that well. So,
I mean, the Ravens didn't really do much for their offense. I mean, I know their offense is a good offense, but it's mainly a running offense.
It's a running offense. And Lamar clearly, especially when it becomes a big game in a big spot, Lamar gets out coached because he's too one-dimensional. He's not an accurate passer. And that he looks to run first. He looks to get out of the pocket. And if you contain him and you make him stay in the pocket and look for somebody downfield, that's where he gets in trouble. And he doesn't seem like he has that nice touch on the ball. When he's got to throw a deep ball, you can't drop it in. He throws a line drive. Everything's a frozen rope, He
always looks like to me he's just going back and just whipping it.
Just whipping it, right.
It's not really.
Yeah.
That's what it looks like to me.
Yeah. I mean, he's mega talented. They can fix that. He's only been in the league 3 years.
Yeah.
And I like him. I like Lamar a lot.
I like him too.
But I don't know. I mean, for a guy like that, I think you got to go out and get a big receiver with really good hands. And, like the 2 years ago when they had those 3 awesome tight ends, that's where he would feast. He would throw the ball to those tight ends, make those 10 to 12-yard passes and then let the tight end break tackles. But
Yep.
I don't know. It's going to be interesting to watch their offense this year because last year they got stuck in the mud a lot.
Yeah, they definitely need a passing game because you could have the number 1 running game, but like you said, one-dimensional. So you're going to run into that team that can stop you.
Very one-dimensional. They brought back Pernell McPhee. They brought back Justin Ellis. But to me, losing Judon was huge. Huge. He's really good. Former Steeler LJ Fort is back. The Bengals.
Oh, they re-signed their backup now.
Yeah. Brandon Allen. Have you heard anything about
I know. I haven't heard any like progress from the surgery that.
yeah. Nothing. It's been very quiet, hasn't it?
I even tuned into a few podcasts and still nothing on him.
Yeah.
Uh,
It's interesting, but they did unveil new uniforms which look just like their old ones. All they did was they took that big 3D drop shot off.
or
So yeah, but which is good because that was ridiculous looking.
you think a team like Cincinnati would like try to separate themselves from Cleveland with that? How about not orange?
Well,
Doesn't Cleveland have orange?
I get it because
I don't know.
Paul Brown founded both teams, so
It's
I
true. Yeah.
totally get that. It just seems like I don't know. I mean, you got the tiger stripes and stuff that it's very minimal. You know, it's on the stripe here, and it's like you think it would be more prominent on the uniform. Although I still like my favorite ones are the Boomer Esiason years. You know, they had the big stripe here with the tiger pattern, but I don't know. I just they always seem like a franchise that doesn't belong at this level all the time, like for their entire history, even though they went to 2 Super Bowls. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Kind of like the Jets. Like they belong in a different league. They're like they're in a development league or something.
Yeah.
They're just
Like if football had like a minor league, that would be.
We could take 4 teams and start a little minor league. We would take the Jets, the Bengals, Detroit, and
there's another one, Detroit.
maybe the Cardinals, right? Because they make noise every now and then, but just take those 4 teams, make them minor league teams. Just get them out.
I like these. They basically signed a whole new secondary. Which they desperately needed.
This is going to hurt Pittsburgh more than they want to admit. Mike Hilton.
Okay.
I kept saying all season last year they cannot let Mike Hilton get away.
Oh boy.
He missed like 3 games and they played lousy without him. He's little. He's only like 5'7", 5'8". Little guy, 175 pounds, but he blows people up. And when he blitzes, he's unstoppable. It's crazy.
Well, this is the Bengals trying to get out of that little league. Then they got their quarterback, so
maybe, but
we'll see. I mean,
this is a waste of money. Eli Apple.
Yeah, I haven't seen him do well in any team. He's been around.
No, I think it's official that he's a number 1 bust. So, but we'll see. I mean, they are well coached now. They showed flashes. Yep. They were very competitive last year. They hung in almost every game. And they even beat Pittsburgh embarrassingly on a Monday night with him. So, we'll see. Now this team is going to be dangerous.
He's on the rise. Yep.
This team's going to be very, very dangerous. They brought Higgins back. They've got a really good stable of wide receivers, and then they did this.
Clowney, yep. That was the big one.
That's a big one.
Let's see what he has left, I think. I don't know.
He's not that old. And
no, I know he's not old.
And now he's playing with Myles Garrett. So this is not good. They're going to have what the Steelers have or had, the bookends blitzing the quarterback. You can't stop both of them. One of them's getting through, right?
Yeah, I saw Myles Garrett like almost single-handedly stop the Kansas City offense last year in the playoffs.
Yeah,
and that's when he was injured.
He was injured.
Now him healthy with Clowney, wow.
With Clowney, and now they got like Malik Jackson in the middle.
Yeah.
So they're stiffening their run defense. Like they're building this defense not to stop the Steelers, to stop the Ravens.
Yep.
To stop the Ravens. Clowney's fast. He's there. Yeah. This team is building to beat Baltimore. And after what I saw against Kansas City in the playoffs, when they almost beat the Chiefs, I said, "Oh shite, Browns are real. They're real."
That's when they showed you.
They showed me, yeah. So that's going to be interesting. So, but they still have Cody Parkey, so you never know.
Yeah, he could lose a couple of games.
Yeah.
Oh, they got what? Oh,
It's
wow. The
my
Steelers
team.
got
My
Josh
team.
Dobbs. Holy cow.
The Steelers are gonna suck. They're gonna suck.
So Josh Dobbs isn't any good?
I'm calling 7-10 right now. Josh Dobbs is fine. He's not gonna play. It's just
He might.
why Roethlisberger's coming back. Roethlisberger coming back holds the team hostage for $19 million against the cap. To do what? You're not going to win the Super Bowl. Leave. The Steelers got gutted by salary cap hits. They've lost
Right.
almost everybody, except Juju, of course. They brought Juju back for 1 year.
But
And that's
okay. I wanted to ask about that. That was one of my curious thing about this. I mean, it's great that he came back. It's
yeah.
great that he loves playing for the Steelers, but he had probably other good offers on the table to teams that might get ahead.
Mm-hmm.
Why do you think he came back to the
He never
Steelers?
wanted to leave, and he was
Okay.
tweeting toward the end of the year that he would take a
Okay.
discount to stay. He wants to stay. And I think he would have been gone if Roethlisberger retired. But
Really?
Roethlisberger loves him, and
Okay.
and Roethlisberger needs him. Juju, beyond the shadow of a doubt, this year proved, and I wanted him back because he is. We were talking about Cole Beasley earlier. This guy's the toughest freaking kid, man. He gets the crap beat out of him. He goes right across the middle, makes the tough catches, gets drilled over and over and over again. And when he signed with the Steelers and he was all excited, some Browns people were trolling him and showing or Cincinnati, I'm sorry, where he got hit on Monday night and fumbled. Well, he makes 100 catches a year. He drops one. Like, he's catching everything in traffic. I mean, I watched this team every game this year, and this guy got the snot beat out of him. He reminded me a lot of a bigger Hines Ward. And how Hines Ward could just get that snot knocked out of him. And fight for yards and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, I'm glad he's back. The problem is they're not going to go anywhere, and he's only signed to a 1-year deal, so they're faced with the same problem again next year.
That's what I wondered. Like, did he just come back because Ben stayed? And
yes, I think
he obviously only signed 1 year. So
yeah, I think it's a Ben and Juju, or what happens to one affects the other. It's clear. This guy here, Ray McLeod, was cut by Buffalo last year. Steelers picked him up. He's awesome as a kick returner. Holy moly.
Okay.
What a steal. What a steal. And then Zach Banner, who was supposed to start last year, got hurt. But they the Steelers don't really play in free agency. Right. This one was an interesting one, though. Tyson Alualu was reported signing with the Jaguars. It was everywhere. It was even on the NFL site, everywhere. And suddenly I hear that he re-signed with the Steelers. And it was kind of 11th hour. He went to sign the contract and bailed on Jacksonville and came back, which was weird. And I haven't heard any deets or anything on that, but yeah. And then just a bunch of guys like these two guys were cut and then signed again. And,
I mean, their defense should just be just as good as last year.
Nah.
No? Because they're going to get their injured guys back.
Not Bud Dupree.
Oh, that's true. They lost that.
Right. Yeah. No, they'll be good. They won't be devastating. And the offense, they have a new offensive coordinator, and you have a 150-year-old quarterback. I don't know. We'll see. The Houston Texans.
And then we get this team probably should have gone to the minor league.
This team could go here, right? Or they should make a soap opera about this team.
Yeah.
Holy moly. Dysfunction junction, huh?
Oh my gosh. Oh yeah, they got 2 quarterbacks because of the situation. Yeah, this is a bad situation.
Yeah, this is a really bad situation. Not only did they get 2 quarterbacks, they got 2 shitty quarterbacks to replace one of the best quarterbacks.
Well, because of his status, though.
Well, right. I think they were going to move him. Then he got in all this legal.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I think so.
So they are screwed. Either way, though, and somebody said this on the radio last week, that the general manager's sitting pretty here in Houston, right?
Well,
he's brand new, so if they suck, he gets to kind of build the team how he wants with all these high draft picks. If they somehow end up decent, he looks like a genius
spare parts he put the team together with, right?
Yep. So he he gets to ride for a while here. The Mark Ingram signing's weird to me too. Mark Ingram's well past his prime at this point.
Yep.
This is like the third year in a row they went out and got a guy who's past his prime. Last year they went out and traded for David Johnson. Remember they gave
Who was like he was done. So.
he was done in Arizona 2 years earlier. Like, what are you doing? And they gave up the receiver. What's his name? Drawing a blank.
Yeah. Holy cow.
That awesome receiver. I can't even think of his name right now.
Holy cow. Oh my gosh.
And it was a straight up 1-for-1 deal. Bill O'Brien's a moron. This one is interesting, though, bringing in Philip Lindsay, who I think was underutilized in Denver because I think he's very talented running back.
DeAndre Hopkins, right?
DeAndre Hopkins. Thank you.
That was like the worst.
It's late and it was a long week. Chris Conley comes in. It's interesting. Dante Moncrief. Wow. I don't know what this team's going to be like 7-10 probably. So they're going to be just good enough to screw themselves, right?
Not get a good draft.
Not get a good draft pick, picking lower in the rounds, and they're stuck with all these kind of over the hill or aging guys. This might have been a good move though for them. Shaq Lawson's a good move, especially because they lost J.J. Watt.
Yep.
So, I mean, but look at all the signings.
Wow.
Yeah. You know what I think their problem is, to be completely honest with you, Edson? It's their uniforms. The Houston Texans officially have the most boring uniforms in all of football. If they get better uniforms, they'll probably win.
Yeah,
I'm just throwing it out there.
I wonder, like, if he's going to come back and play this year or not with all those allegations.
Oh, what's 22? I heard this week now. 22.
But it hasn't progressed anything like,
No, well, now it's going to get into. They're in the investigation section, and then it's going to get into the legal section. So then, like the ones with juice, and I expect half of them to go away, but even half still leaves 11, right?
I know.
Then he's going to be tied up in legal. I don't understand why the NFL hasn't suspended him yet. I guess you're innocent.
I mean, it's just an accusation. Yeah,
they're just all allegations right now. But I mean, out of 22, there's going to be at least one, right? That's real. You would think.
You would think.
Who?
I mean, you would think. But
22 people with the same story.
I just heard his lawyer shooting back. It's like everything they say, all of it's false.
Yeah, they do. And I guess the other day on one of his social media accounts, he was out jet skiing with his girlfriend, and they were flipping people the finger and stuff like that, and saying I'm innocent.
Well,
I don't know.
He still is at this point. But
well,
he's right. 22 is a lot.
22. I mean, ouch.
Unless you want to say it's a conspiracy, a well drawn out conspiracy. But why?
But you'd have to connect all 22 of these women and then prove that they had an agenda to take him down.
Right.
But you know what? The fact that he wanted to leave Houston all of a sudden, that's the thing that says to me, like, why did he suddenly want to get out of there?
Getting away from the problem, yeah.
He just signed a 5-year deal last year, and then all of a sudden wants to leave.
Now he wants to leave.
And then all this stuff came out. So, you can run, but you can't hide. I don't know, even if they sent him somewhere else.
It would catch up to him.
Of course. Just these allegations are still going to come out, no matter what city you live in. So the Colts, this is fascinating to me. Carson Wentz.
He gets a new lease.
Who I've been calling a chucker for 3 years, and everybody goes, he's good. And I go, no, he's a freaking chucker. He sucks. He's Andy Dalton. That's who he is. However, saying that, he's reunited with his old coach, Frank Reich. And when he had his best season before he got hurt, and then Nick Foles won the Super Bowl, Frank Reich was the offensive coordinator.
Yep.
This could be interesting.
Yeah, I mean, if there's anyone that can help him come back to like a decent. I mean, he had that one, at least that one good year, uh, until he got injured.
I
Uh,
think I think this is a team with a legitimate shot to go and win the Super Bowl.
really?
I do, because they were really good with Phillip Rivers, like an old shot Phillip Rivers. If Carson Wentz gets reinvigorated and plays anywhere near the way he played under Frank Reich when he was with the Eagles, with the running game they have, they just brought Marlon Mack back. They don't even need him. They already got two other good backs. I wanted the Steelers to sign Marlon Mack. This team's like ready to win. I think they were a younger quarterback away.
Yeah, but is he the one, the younger quarterback?
Well, that's what I'm saying. If
Yeah, yeah,
he returns to the form he was in Philadelphia, then I think they're a legitimate contender. I'm just calling it right now on
yeah.
April. What's today? April 20, whatever. This team's ready. They're good. And it's proven by the lack of signings. And most, half of these are re-signs. So,
Yeah, Xavier Rhodes. They
and another Steeler, Sean Davis, go on. Yeah. And this is a big signing too. I think T.Y. Hilton and Carson Wentz can make beautiful music together. I do.
Yep. If anyone can make it work, it's Frank Reich. We'll see.
And this year, bringing him back, he's a really good running back, but they don't need him. This could be trade bait. This could be something on draft day, they could play with this. Like, think of a team that needs a running back, Pittsburgh, and you just call up the Steelers and say, "Hey, Pittsburgh, you need a running back, Pittsburgh," and stuff like that. Because it's interesting that they brought him back on a 1-year deal. They don't need him.
That's right. I forgot to ask you what you thought of losing Connor. Was that a big deal?
Who cares?
Okay.
Jacksonville Jaguars.
Well, looks like they got
actually this put them with Cincinnati and the Jets and ship them out. All right, here.
But they're gonna get the number one.
I'm calling this right now. We're not to the draft section of the show yet, but I'm calling it early. Preemptive strike here. Trevor Lawrence is going to struggle so hard.
Okay.
I'm calling it right now. I think he's going to struggle mightily on this team.
Well, I mean,
and he doesn't know how to lose. He doesn't know what losing is all about.
It is, Jackson.
Joe Burrow didn't know what losing was all about either. I remember Joe Burrow, the Bengals lost like 4 or 5 in a row, and they were interviewing him, and he looked like he got hit by a truck, right? And he's just sitting there like, I've never lost 2 games in a row in my life.
What does this mean? Yeah, he's like,
I don't know how this is so weird. The same thing is going to happen. And then, Trevor Lawrence said something this week or last week about, I don't really like football. I'm just really good at it. So what happens when things start going wrong with a guy who doesn't really like football?
Yeah.
He's just good at it. And let's face it, he's got movie star looks, and I don't know. I think this might be the wrong place for him.
Not sure why he would say something like that, but
maybe trying to get Jacksonville not to pick him because he wants to go somewhere where he can be on the cover of magazines and on billboards, and not in Jacksonville, Florida.
Right.
He wants to go to New York. That's where he wants to go. That's going to be interesting, but that's for the drafts. Well, got off topic a little bit, but signings like this, Carlos Hyde should be given his AARP card, not a contract with the Jaguars. Carlos.
Marvin Jones?
Marvin Jones, who's okay, but he didn't do much in Detroit.
Yeah.
Philip Dorsett. And they're going cheap. They're the Jags. And they're trying to get respectable quickly. This was an interesting signing too. That Shaq Griffin would leave Seattle and go sign in Jacksonville.
It must be because of the 3-year promise. They had to give him 3 years for that.
Oh yeah, probably
maybe Seattle didn't want to do that.
Well, I think Seattle's in cap problems, so either that or he just wants a workout, and he's going to get one in Jacksonville. He's going to be running all over the place.
Yeah, it's gonna work out.
Yeah, they went heavy on defensive backs. I mean, they're 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 defensive backs in free agency. So I don't know. I mean, you win one game. I'm supposing that no matter what you do, it's an upgrade. But I don't know. Here's another team that's potentially dangerous.
Yeah, they're always the last few years. They're always close. So
they're close, but again, it's all resting on the shoulders of Ryan Tannehill. And can you win a Super Bowl with Ryan Tannehill?
If you have a really great running game, but you also need a really great defense, which took a step back last year. So.
And they lost that receiver, actually to the Jets, right? Let me go back up here. I forgot about that. They lost. Where's the Jets here? Yeah, Corey Davis went to the Jets.
Okay.
He's that big. He's big and strong, and yeah, they had two of them. AJ Brown and Corey Davis were like built exactly the same way. These big, strong guys. So they lost him. I don't know.
And that's how they plan to upgrade by grabbing Bud Dupree from the Steelers. Okay.
And they gave Bud Dupree a lot of money coming off. He tore an ACL. Who knows?
Yeah.
I mean, Bud. The thing with Bud is he's not fast. He was never blessed with explosive speed. He's just strong and relentless. So if that knee's not there yet, and he gets leaned on by a left tackle, he's probably not going to go very far. I wish Bud all the luck. He wrote, when he left Pittsburgh, he wrote this huge column in the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette, just thanking the fans in the city, and said he'll always be a Steeler no matter what. And just, it was really, really awesome, really from the heart. So I wish him luck. I hope he does all right. I don't know. Would you give a guy $85 million who ripped up his knee?
Yeah, that's they must have had some kind of hopefully they did all their health checks and everything. I don't know.
Yeah, they must.
Was he recovering? I mean, where was he at?
Well, yeah.
At this point?
Well, it happened. God, it was like the third to the last game of the year or something like that. It was the Washington game he did.
Right. Yep.
So that was what? That was the first loss. So that was week 12.
Yep.
So I mean, there's no doubt he'll come back and he'll play and he'll be ready for the opener. But how effective will he be? That's the question. So, and come on, let's face it. What was the Titans' big weakness last year? How many times we did our picks and stuff? How many times did we say it? They can't get off the field on third down.
Yep, that was it.
So they need a pass rusher. They need someone who's gonna, shut down a.
Maybe this will turn out good for the Steelers. They'll have a down year. The Titans won't want him anymore. Release him, and then the Steelers pick him up, and he'll be back to his old self.
I can't believe you said that. I was thinking the same thing.
We got to track that story.
Because a lot of times these guys, it takes an extra year before they're back to the way they were. So I don't know. We'll see. Denver Broncos still need a quarterback in the worst way. Who's Mike Boone?
I have to admit.
Right. I'm going to have to check. I've never
running back.
Mike Boone. He was with the Vikings. Guess he didn't play much.
Broncos haven't done much, huh?
No, Broncos have not done much. This is the big signing, Kyle Fuller. I'd say that's the big one. Maybe Justin Simmons, but yeah, they're kind of laying low. They're probably going to try to build through the draft. They actually, last year, I think, drafted a lot of people that they were young and exciting. Would they win 5 or 6 games, something like that? So they're a very young team already. Very young team. So I don't think they want to bring in a whole bunch of crunchy old veterans. I think they're clearly building for the future. So the Chefs,
who plan to go back to the Super Bowl.
The Chefs made a trade today, actually.
Today.
Yeah, they brought in Orlando Brown from the Ravens to play left tackle to protect Mahomes. They gave up a lot. They gave up 3 picks this year, 1 next year, I think, and then 1 if they gave up like 5 picks
Wow.
for Orlando Brown. Yeah. Yep. And they had already brought in
Well,
Joe Tunney, so they're serious about fixing this offensive line, which again got exposed in the Super Bowl. Tampa Bay owned them at the line of scrimmage. It was awful. I mean,
yeah, I
granted,
remember.
they were playing 3 backups, but
Right, that's it. I mean, we were talking about how there was injuries and oh no, Mahomes will deal with it. Well,
right.
after a while, everyone needs the offensive line, and it's like that was it.
Well,
That
what
was
it
the
showed
key to
too is
getting
they had no depth on that line at all.
right. So
Um,
now, obviously, they're upgrading.
yeah. So it says the Chiefs traded their 2021 first round pick, a third rounder, and a fourth round pick for this year. So the 1, 3, and 4 this year, a fifth round in 2022. In exchange for Brown. Oh, and they got with Brown, they got back a second round pick from Baltimore this year
Oh,
and a sixth round next year. So they gave up a 1, 3, 4 this year and a fifth next year in exchange for Brown and a second rounder this year
two and
and a sixth round next year.
okay.
So, yep. So that was, I think that's where they're putting most of their money right there.
Yeah, Joe
You know,
Tooney.
these now they got 4. They brought in 4. So they don't need help anywhere else. Team is mega talented.
That's true. Yeah,
So,
I mean their defense.
and this is
Is
huge. I think this guy is one of the most underrated players on that team. Sorensen.
yep.
He's always making plays. I
They
mean, everyone
started
talks about Honey Badger, Honey Badger. I'm like, Sorensen, man, that guy is solid.
they started playing much better yet last year, and I wonder if it's going to continue.
Their
Uh,
defense,
yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah. The defense. That's right. Yeah.
yeah. The year
Um,
before, if you could score
go,
with them, you might
go,
beat
yeah,
them. But yeah,
right. So we'll
the
see.
Raiders.
Jeez,
Kenyon Drake. You know, Kenyon Drake.
Josh Brown.
Going back to his Miami days, Kenyon Drake to me is he's a talented little running back who I don't know. It's just like teams just give up on him too quickly or something. He gets. I don't get it. Everywhere he goes, he's productive, and then they stop playing him.
Yep.
Is it an attitude problem? Does he not practice well? Is it?
Thing. Yeah, you don't know the personality of.
Glinzer says the Raiders had the worst stadium opening ever. They did. They opened it to nobody. That sucks. I know it's too bad. They should have pushed it off or something. I guess you can't. But
Wow.
John Brown. There's another guy too. Leaving Buffalo, going to the Raiders. Brown's another. He's kind of enigmatic, right? When he was in Arizona, he was like really productive. Then he goes to Buffalo, and not so much.
Yeah, not so much.
You
And
know,
when
I
you think
expect
with that offense, I mean,
with that offense, it just didn't seem like. I mean, they were going to Beasley more than him, which is weird. Because Beasley, I would consider the 3. I'd consider
yep,
Brown the 2, behind Diggs as 1. But he just maybe it's the design of the offense combined with his what he brings, his talent. Maybe he doesn't run routes is crisp, or I don't know. Who knows what the answer is? But it's just weird because in Arizona, he was like this unsung hero. Like nobody had heard of him. It was all about Larry Fitzgerald and Anquan Bolden, but Brown all of a sudden was like blowing up. Remember?
yep.
So yeah. So and Willie Snead comes in. He was to me the only good receiver in Baltimore. Boy, they
Oh,
could.
they lost him. That's right. Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, Baltimore. They don't have a good passing game. Richie Cognito's back, and yeah,
Bunch of
just
guys
again, this
filling.
looks like a lot of mortar for the
Filling in.
bricks. The Chargers.
Oh, they got their backup too.
Chase Daniel. Yeah, well,
Was he with the Bears or with?
Chase Daniel was, I think so. Let me check. I'll right click
Maybe.
on
I mean,
him.
at one point he was, but maybe not last year.
Where was he last year? Stats. Come on, stats. Holy slow. Last year he was with Detriot.
Oh, okay.
He was at the Bears 2 years before that.
All right, yeah. That's right.
That's right. He had to start a game. Remember, Stafford got like nailed. It was Thanksgiving.
Yep, it was
Right? Stafford got knocked out in the first drive. Jared Cook comes in. How old is Jared Cook now?
Wow.
He's 190, I think. Ex-Steeler Matt Filer. That's a good pickup for the Chargers. Matt Filer's a good offensive lineman. Glinzer says, as a 49ers fan, my condolences to the Raiders for picking up Solomon Thomas.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
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 A couple of mediocre guys spilling
Well,
into
the
holes.
Chargers have to fix that defense. It's as
For
simple as
sure.
that because that offense is amazing. Herbert comes out of nowhere and just lights it up. I mean, Herbert, who knows? He could go for MVP this year if he puts up numbers like he did last year. So, but they couldn't stop anybody. They couldn't stop us. We go down the corner, get 5 more guys, we could probably beat the Chargers.
Yeah, how many games did they lose with the defense just let it go?
Between the defense, the clock management.
Oh, well, there's that too.
Holy crap. And I like their coach. I like Lynn a lot, but he wasn't an X's and O guy, that's for sure, because he never had his O's matched with his X's.
Yeah.
Your mistress team, Edson, Dallas Cowboys. Now we're in the NFC. So this was shocking to me.
I mean, did they really have a choice?
Well, yeah, you could go sign somebody else.
I guess.
The guy broke his foot right off his leg.
Right, I know.
Broke the foot clean off his leg, like until again, they must know something we don't, right?
Yeah, they have to.
I would say franchise him or something. Give him 1 year. What if he's completely done? I mean, I know these guys come back now. Look at Alex Smith. That was amazing. He just retired this week, Alex Smith.
Yep. I was going to bring that up. Yep.
But, God bless Alex Smith. That guy almost lost his leg, and he did make it back, but it was a long road. It took over 2 years. I don't know. I mean, I like Dak. I want Dak to do well. But do you give a guy a 4-year, $160 million deal after he broke his foot off his leg? Completely busted.
But they're like the closest to him in terms of like the medical, so they must know that he might be recovered a lot better than we think or speculate. So
yeah,
that's
maybe.
the only thing I can think of.
I mean, the way the modern medicine is. Look at Tiger Woods, right?
Yeah.
Did you see he posted a picture today on his Instagram? Did you see it?
No, but I know he had a pretty good recovery, didn't he?
Yeah, looks pretty good. He's on crutches, one leg's in a full cast, but he's smiling and he says things are great. And I mean, when he first got in that accident, people are like, "Holy shit, he's probably never going to golf again."
Right.
He might be golfing by October. Who knows? But these guys bounce back quicker. The procedures are better. They're using lasers and all these kind of things, not going in with chainsaws and stuff like that anymore. But still, I mean, my God, that's a devastating injury. I mean, remember when he did it? He was crying and like it was horrifying. Yep. So,
but I mean, a week later they were showing him, all smiles and everything. So it's almost like a 1 week recovery or something like that.
It's crazy. I know, right? He's in the hospital with his brother, and Glinzer says Alex Smith should have played in Super Bowl 47. Kaepernick choked. Yeah.
Oh, I agree.
Sometimes the traditional veteran over the flashy upstart would have. Yeah, I agree. Although I got to give Kaepernick credit, they were down big, then the power outage, and they came back and had a chance to win that game at the end.
Yep.
So, that was a great game. Although it's peculiar, and I said to my brother, I was watching that with my brother when the power went out. I said, if the power comes back on and the 49ers come back, you got to ask yourself,
what? Who did that?
How peculiar. Plus, it was a weird Super Bowl because you had the two brothers coaching against each other. That was a good one, though.
That was a really good.
That was a good one. That was the year Flacco went on that crazy run. in the postseason. Remember
That's
that?
right. That's right.
What do you have, like 12
Like
touchdowns, no picks?
he had like that perfect postseason. Yeah.
Oh my God. And then they were losing that game to the Broncos. Was that the championship game? Or was it the divisional round?
Oh gosh, I gotta go back.
And he put that ball over to Leak.
I know what
Just
you're
put
talking
it like perfect. Like, oh my God. Talk about a miracle comeback. And that was in Denver. You don't do that in Denver.
Yep.
So yeah, other than that, CJ Goodwin, pretty good pickup there. Cowboys kind of played it a little close to the vest here.
They gotta do something with that defense. If they can't pick up anybody off the draft,
Defense
I
is
don't know what
awful.
I don't know what they're gonna do.
Well, they brought in 2 linebackers. Their defense is awful.
But their strength was the linebackers.
I know, but that
Except they haven't been
He's
playing.
gone, and yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
They lost a lot too. They lost what, Smith, right?
They had a lot of injuries too, but
Yeah. So the New York Football Giants are prepared. They're poised to make a run this year. Can they do it? And you know how they can? They got Mike Glennon.
they picked up their
They got their franchise quarterback right there, Mike
I was
Glennon.
gonna say they picked up their backup too, but who knows?
This is make or break for Daniel Jones. This is the year. He's going to get Barkley back.
Yeah,
And if Barkley's
another
healthy.
one. I haven't heard anything from Barkley. I'm assuming he's healthy.
Same, I know. Provided Barkley is Barkley. They look, they brought in Kenny Galladay. They brought in John Ross. Like, they've given Kyle Rudolph. He already has a good tight end. Now he's got 2.
Yeah, but that tight end that they have, I forgot. Ingram, he was dropping a lot of balls later.
He does drop a lot of balls.
I'm not surprised about this Rudolph signing.
He does drop a lot of balls. And what's funny about that is he was the best receiver on the team.
Yeah, he was.
But Kenny Galladay, that's ginormous.
Yeah.
So this is it. I mean, if Barkley's Barkley and you've got all these good receivers and you got a good tight end and you've got the protection up front, there's no more excuses for this kid, right?
Right.
And their defense was already very, very stingy defense. So,
well, they started off really horrible, and somehow, much like the Chiefs, they improved a lot over the year.
Good coaching. There's really good coaching. Judge and his staff are really, really good coaches, and you could see they were just. The Steelers played the Giants on opening day, and they were tougher than I thought they would be. But you could see from opening day to where they ended up, where they were on the cusp of the playoffs at the end, the maturation of the team and how they came together, and especially the defense. The defense grew in leaps and bounds as the season went on. Gunzer says, hold up. Y'all said he has a good tight end, but he drops a lot of balls.
Okay. Yeah.
Well, he drops him when he's in traffic, you know. I mean, there were games they'd throw it to him 11, 12 times. He had a couple of huge games, though.
He did, but he
still
was their best.
I had him on my fantasy team. He was putting up decent enough numbers, but yeah, he was kind of a. We'll see. Leonard Williams is back. Moving on.
Wow.
Joe Flacco.
Eagles didn't do anything.
I like Joe. You know I like Joe. I
know.
Joe's
a good guy.
Joe is a great guy. And I love Joe's family. Joe's mom is the sweetest woman ever. That said, and I like Joe, but I think his career's done. When he ripped up his shoulder, it's pretty apparent. He just doesn't have it anymore. And it's not like he was a franchise quarterback to begin with. He was one of those very good, not great.
Right.
Now his arm is shot. It's the Chad Pennington thing. Remember, after Pennington ripped up his shoulder, he was never the same. Was it. And it doesn't matter how smart you are. If you can't throw the ball down the field anymore, it's like what the Steelers were doing with Roethlisberger at the end of last year, and what we saw in the playoffs. The Saints made it so obvious that Drew Brees can't throw the ball more than 12 yards anymore, so they're protecting him from that. And you just can't do that. You can't hide a quarterback who can't throw the ball. So Yeah, with the Eagles, they're all in on Jalen Hurts, and if he gets knocked out and Flacco has to come in, it's
Yeah.
going to change the whole dynamic of their offense. They're not even the same kind of player.
You won't
Why
be
would
able
you
to
do
run
this?
that offense. Yeah, I'm not sure.
I don't know why you would do this, unless they just want Flacco's experience to kind of coach
To try to,
Jalen
yeah,
Hurts a little bit and kind of
be
work with
mature.
him. Yeah, doesn't make sense. Other than that, they've been very quiet. Eric Wilson, that's about it. I mean, what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 signings? And one of them was their own guy?
It's pretty curious.
Yep. Yep. Who's the coach there now? I forgot.
I know it's a new
Peterson
brand.
got let go. I forgot who they brought in.
Heard it the other day too.
Yeah. Football team. Yeah, the Eagles should have kept Foles. Foles and the Eagles, you're right, Glinzer. That's the only way it works. Anywhere Foles goes, he's terrible. But when he goes back to Philadelphia, it's like
When he
magic.
goes back to,
It's so weird.
I wonder if they did try to get him. I don't know.
I don't know. Yeah, I mean,
I think that'd be a
boy,
good move for them.
he looked as lost as Trubisky did for the Bears.
Well, I mean, probably anybody you put in there.
God, the Bears. Holy shite. They're coming up.
And we're going
Brian.
to fork the Bears right now.
So we're going to put a fork in the Bears now already? Okay. Fitzmagic, man. Fitzmagic left your team.
Yeah, I knew they were going to keep him.
$10 million?
That's I'm glad for
with
him.
incentives that can get him to 12?
Hey, I'll root for him, even though he left.
Oh, I will too. But come on.
But you're right. It seems like a lot.
Around, it's the same thing with him. He'll win 3 or 4 games and look awesome, lights out, and then he'll start throwing picks all over the place. And
he's really good just coming in.
He comes in spurts.
Yeah,
he's good in spurts.
Can't
but
be a starter.
And now it's a 17-game schedule with that. You can't play 17 games with this guy. Well, I'm curious to see how the kid that started the playoff game works through camp.
He's going to be there. Yep.
I think he's got a good shot at taking the job now that Smith's gone. So Lamar Miller's back. Who else did they get here? Curtis Samuel, Tyler Larsen.
Oh, okay.
William Jackson III. Good cornerback signing.
Wow,
that defense is damn good.
Yep.
And they're only going to get better.
Chase Young
is a man. Jesus, Chase Young. He's going to be second year this year. It's going to start to come together. If they can get their offense moving, and who's that running back they had?
Yeah.
Oh, he's good. I picked him up in the fantasy off waivers, and he was so good. I can't think of his name. He got hurt right when the postseason came around. He was really ineffective, but I can't think of his name. But I think they're gonna win the division outright.
I remember they probably will with that defense and the offense doesn't. I remember that guy scored 4 touchdowns against the Cowboys.
Yeah. I can't think of his name. It's killing me. It'll come to me. Here we go.
Oh,
put a fork in him.
Andy Dalton.
And Dalton. Oh, Bears, what are you doing? What are you doing?
Wow.
What are you doing? Why him?
And he got $10 million.
He got $10 million too. I guess that's the going rate on shitty backups these days.
Holy cow.
Yeah.
What are they doing? The Bears fans, man.
You have all these available free agent quarterbacks out there. And you go and you get Andy Dalton. When let's face it, the rest of the team is playoff ready. They need a quarterback in the worst way.
They got great receivers.
Yeah, Allen Robinson's awesome. And they were smart to tag him. I heard he was going to go somewhere else.
Oh, yeah.
They were smart to tag him. They're right there, this team. They're right there. Their defense is so good, but they're on the field all the time. Yeah. Oh, and they did re-sign Artie Burns. Steelers first-round pick who sucks.
Oh, my God.
He sucks.
Maybe he'll be good there.
He was already there. He sucks. He's garbage.
He's re-signing.
You know when it says re-sign on a 1-year deal without the money? without the money means league minimum.
He probably got them. Yeah.
League minimum. Yeah, he's not good. But they don't need to do much to this team. They just need to fix this,
The
and they
quarterback.
won't do it.
That's what they.
They won't. Oh my god. Oh my god. They would have been better off with this guy.
Yep.
We'll see. What do I know?
Are they still keeping?
I'm
Foles,
sitting
I
in
wonder?
a computer chair in my home office. I'm not a football GM. So.
You think Foles is still there?
Yeah. I think what
Okay.
they Foles. They gave him a multi-year deal last year.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. This is interesting.
This was the great.
This goes way back.
That
This
trade.
was like, this was
like right at the beginning.
Right before free agency.
Before free agency.
Yeah. Jared Goff. And I think the Lions are insane. They are nuts. Matthew Stafford is a far better quarterback, and Matthew Stafford couldn't win there. How is this dink going to win there? This kid's terrible.
But Matthew Stafford was at a point where he wanted someone, he wants to somewhere else.
He wants to go win a championship.
So
what the Lions gave up to get Jared Goff, I don't know. I don't get it. They gave up. Look at this. They gave a 3rd round pick and 1st round picks next year and the year after. Oh no, I'm sorry. The Rams gave that up. Right.
I thought that was the other way around. Which,
right. You're right.
Of course, tells you what people think of
Jared Goff.
Yeah.
He's not good.
So my point. That was my point originally. Was that they knew Stafford was unhappy, that wanted to go somewhere else.
Right.
Well, it wasn't going to work much longer with him. So they're just getting this guy to get all the picks. I think this is the thing. If they're smart, because they're getting all these picks, and then they're going to try to figure out.
Build the team from within.
After maybe 1 year of Goff, they're going to try to find somebody else, or maybe they'll find them right this year, this year's draft. I don't know.
Yeah, Glinzer, we're going to address the 49ers soon, and I think I know exactly what the 49ers are going to do. But I don't know. Jared Goff. Ever since I go back to that Super Bowl when they played the Patriots.
I have to bring that up.
Ew. That was like watching paint dry.
I'm trying to forget that game.
But yeah, I actually got a phone call that day from Grass Growing was bored watching the. Yeah.
So was I.
Goff was scared in that game. He was scared. I mean, you could see it in his eyes. He was rushing his throws. He didn't want to get touched. Then he kind of bounced back last year, right? But again, big games. Yeah, big games came, and he had that same scared. He's not a big kid. He's very thin. I don't think he likes getting hit. I mean, who does really? But he loses all his composure. His footwork gets sloppy. He gets rid of the ball too soon. Just wants to get rid of the ball. He doesn't want to get hit. He's going to get creamed at Detroit. Newsflash.
I know.
You're going to get hit.
Because he was really good at those games where they started just downhill from the get-go. And he was really good then. It was like he had all the confidence in the world. I think most of his issues are between the ears. It's like he kind of loses he just doesn't. He can't keep the composure once things go wrong.
Yeah, no, exactly. And it was easy with the offense they had in LA. If they got off to a quick start with those quick passes, then he could hit Woods for 20 yards or something. But he had those running backs coming out of the backfield and the tight end. He's a really good tight ends there. So this is a totally different ball game in Detroit.
I know.
Oh my God.
I think he got the worst of this whole deal. I think I know what Detroit was trying to figure out, but he got the worst of it.
Oh yeah. This is going to be a car crash, man. No, they stacked up on defense, a lot of free agents in defense. But wow, Quentin Dunbar, he's up there in age, isn't he?
Yeah.
Not a while. So I don't know. The Lions are the Lions, man. They'll be 8-9.
They're still going to be the Lions this year.
They'll still be the Lions. Packers. This was a huge pickup.
That was
re-sign. This was enormous. Yeah. That was another one. I was like, well, I know the Steelers don't sign free agents, but Aaron Jones, spend the money. Spend the money. Glinzer says Jared Goff is the poor man's Ryan Gosling.
There
Is
you
that
go.
right?
He
He
does
says
kind of.
John Lynch picked Solomon Thomas number 3 overall. I almost cried. I wanted him to pick the other Stanford guy, one Christian McCaffrey.
Oh,
Whoops. I
wow.
love retrospective hindsight draft day. You go back and you look at guys that were passed on. Well, the Bears. The Bears are the most recent classic example. They take Mitch
Trubisky.
Trubisky number 2
Yep.
and Patrick Mahomes and
Mahomes is still there.
what's his name? Deshaun Watson. Both of them.
Yeah, both of that's right, both of them.
Both of them.
Wow.
So whoops.
Jeez.
Yeah, sometimes these guys I think get so caught up in their analytics and all these data points, and they're just looking at all this data and stuff. And sometimes you just gotta go and go with your gut and look at the guys, the human being, look at the athlete. You see this in baseball now more than anything. These managers, they might as well be managing with a calculator. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
basically.
Whatever happened to going with your gut, going with a hunch? They don't do that anymore. It's all
Nope.
mathematical, everything. Oh, pitch count, this, that, you know, righty versus lefty and all these percentages and, if it's a day game, don't put this guy in because he gives up, this many more hits on a day game than whatever. Like, just
And oh my gosh, if I see another number one starter go for five, that's your start, 5 innings. Why is that a standard start now? 5 innings, 5 innings, and that's it.
because
That's,
Tony La Russa ruined baseball. That's why. Tony La Russa started this crap in the late 80s with the matchups and
you always got to bring the setup guy and then put him.
right. You just he's
Yep,
managing every game like the 7th game of the World Series, and
yep.
that's when the games got bloated, everything got slowed down, they start playing. Yeah, I miss the old like Tommy Lasorda, Sparky Anderson. My gut tells me today I'm using that dude, but he hasn't struck anybody out in 3 weeks.
That's all right.
But I got a feeling today. I just watched him warming up, and I got a feeling, and he put him in, and the guy mows him down. Right? I miss old time baseball when the manager wasn't looking at an iPad in the dugout with all these freaking numbers on it. God, it's like they don't even know their players well enough. They have to trust my analytics guy upstairs said. It
Yep.
takes the sport out of sports. Minnesota Vikings. This team's weird to me.
Yeah, I don't see anybody like
Kirk Cousins. They just don't seem like they can.
They're deciding to go with him.
Yeah, they got it. They paid him a
I
huge
know.
amount of money.
Now they got to.
This is it. This is it, though. If he doesn't at least take them into the playoffs and win maybe one playoff game, you got to start. You got to go somewhere else.
The thing is, I agree with you, but the thing is now it's like this team looks like it's in transit. It's like in transition. It's like there's no, you know, it's not set up perfectly for him. So it's going to be easy for him to fail. I think it's like the defense is taking
Defense is falling off.
four
Yeah.
steps back, and the offense is, I don't know, kind of flailing around. I agree with you that he should prove himself, but it's like the whole team is kind of.
I mean, they lost Diggs. They have that great
Yep,
running back though.
that's true.
What's
But
his
their
name?
defense, oh
Can't
my
think of his
gosh,
name. Yeah, the defense is not what it was 4 or 5 years ago when they were
that's the
like
thing.
one of the preeminent defenses.
That was the time to.
Yep. Yeah, but I'm not sure he was ever a good fit anyway.
No, all right.
And I think what they give him like a 6-year deal or something, right? And they give him a big
It was a
contract.
big contract. Yeah.
Yeah, they're kind of stuck with him. So, and I don't know. Like the Vikings can be scary, but they'll win 9 or 10 games and then, be on the playoff bubble and
Yeah, but
I don't
that won't get them anywhere.
Oh God, the Falcons.
Hey,
Oh
someone else is going to try to get more out of Cordero Patterson. Okay.
God. Cordarrelle Patterson's so bad.
Oh, he's good with the special teams, right? Or no? Is he still not
Yeah,
that
he
good?
is a good kick returner. But
I feel like every other year, some new coach or team will say, "Oh, we're going to get more out of him than just kick returns."
what are they going to do with Matt Ryan though? At this
Right?
point, I mean, he could be a draft day trade. Matt Ryan.
Wow. I, what pick do they have? I don't know.
Oh, that's right. I did. Thank you for bringing that up, Glenzer. I missed that completely. I forgot about this. I forgot about that.
Patrick Peterson.
Yeah.
Well, even they
Yeah.
know that their defense isn't that.
Yeah.
Okay.
What was your question about the Falcons?
Trying to think of what their pick is.
Oh,
in
I
the
think they won
draft.
like 5 games. Aren't they like, well, we'll find out. We'll go to the draft page next, but
Yeah, that's fine. Just,
um,
I mean, obviously, I'm assuming they're targeting a quarterback. I don't know.
yeah, I mean, there's a lot of them this year. So,
Yeah.
I'm just wondering if they're going to try to trade him on draft day,
Okay.
load up on some more picks. I mean, this team needs a total gutting. I don't know what happened. I mean, they lose that Super Bowl and then they've just fallen apart. I mean, their coaching was awful. I couldn't believe they left. What was his name though? God, I'm trying to blank on him too. Week after week, I kept saying, "Why is this guy still in?"
Oh,
But he was bad, and they're choking left and right, and they're blowing double-digit leads all over the place, and the guy is still.
yeah, that was another one.
Yeah, finally they pulled the trigger, but it was like week 7 last year. It was like, my God, right after the onside kick game against the Cowboys, that should have been it. That should have been it. Yeah. Kyle Shanahan better not make a play for Matt Ryan. No, I don't think he will.
Oh, no.
Okay, Carolina Panthers. This was an interesting trade a couple weeks ago.
Yep.
Came out of the blue.
Wondered
Not where I expected Sam Darnold to land. I'll say that.
No, me neither.
Yeah.
But I knew it was kind of obvious he was going to go somewhere. If the Jets could find their trading partner, they needed. They were going to do that. I didn't think that they were going to try again to see what he could do. I think they were going to go for a new quarterback no matter what. But
Yeah. Well, what's amazing is that how this guy was taken 3rd overall.
Yep.
3 years ago, 4 years ago. And look at his value now: a 6th round pick, and then a 2nd and 4th next year. That's how much damage the Jets coaching staff did to this kid.
Yep.
I think he's got the talent, but he might be destroyed mentally. Remember last year when he's sitting there, he's like, "I'm seeing ghosts," and
Yep.
we saw this happen to one of his predecessors, Mark Sanchez. Mark Sanchez took the Jets to the championship game the first 2 years he was in the league, and by the end was running into his own guys and falling down and fumbling like he was like Keystone Cops, right? He just had no confidence anymore, and I'm wondering if that's the problem here with Sam. That said, a team like this with McCaffrey, they were pretty good last year. Surprising.
They were in a lot of games. Most of their games they were in until the end.
And he's going to be reunited with Robbie Anderson, who was his target in New York.
That's right.
Those two had a connection. That first Sam's rookie year, those two were on the same page. So it's interesting. If I'm Teddy Bridgewater, though, I'm fuming.
Yeah. Yep.
I'm fuming. So, maybe they're using this to push Teddy. Maybe they're using it to push Teddy out. It's weird. It's really weird.
It is weird. I mean, from Sam Darnold's point of view, this is probably one of the best things that could have happened to him.
Oh, I agree, because he's going from a pressure cooker in New York to Carolina where, hey, just entertain us on Sunday. I mean, I don't think there's of course they want to win and the fans want them to win, but doesn't have the pressure of New York.
And I think Matt Rule can do something with the other aspect of it, what you just said. If mentally he's kind of broken, I think there's still a chance to recover.
And they did pick up his option year. So it's not like this is like the last year of his contract. He's got next year too.
Yeah. I know that's kind of shitty for Bridgewater. I get it.
It's really shitty for Bridgewater,
I
but
know.
there's going to be opportunities out there. We just went through a couple teams that
Oh, yeah, yeah.
the Bears, right? The Bears have a shitty quarterback situation. The Washington has a shitty quarterback situation.
Detroit, maybe.
Detroit has a shitty quarterback situation, right? So, so Teddy could potentially play himself into something like that. If Bridgewater ends up in Chicago, they might be an instant playoff team.
I agree. Yeah, you're right. You can do that. Jeez.
You think about something like that. If Bridgewater ends up in Washington, they might. I still think they're going to win the division anyway. It's going to be them and the Giants, but I think Washington. I'm giving Washington the edge. Yeah. So we'll see. This is going to be fun to watch. And a lot of this, I think, the quarterback success in Carolina it all centers around McCaffrey. If McCaffrey's not healthy, they're in trouble because they just don't have a dynamic offense. It was all predicated on him. He's the offense. That guy is amazing.
Yeah, both running and receiving.
Yeah, but they opened the wallet here in Carolina. I mean, look at all the offensive linemen.
Definitely a good move.
They beefed up their defensive line. They brought in linebackers. Hassan Reddick, that's a good one. Yeah. So AJ Bowie. There's some talent here. And what did they finish last year? They were around 500, right?
Maybe one.
I remember right.
Maybe
One
like
or two
7
under.
and 9.
I think at the end they faded toward the end.
Yeah.
But
the injuries caught up to them.
The injuries caught up, but they were competitive and they were pulling off quite a few upsets here and there. So yeah. And you're right. I like Matt Rule a lot. I think he's a really great coach. Now here's another one.
This is
here's another team with a quarterback issue, right?
Yep.
This is weird. And then they went and gave
Hill starter money.
Starter money. Why did Jameis Winston resign here for 1 year? Knowing he's probably the backup to Tim Tebow Part 2.
Well, maybe that's why.
Taysom Hill is not going to be a good quarterback.
But that's maybe why, because he thinks the Saints are a good situation, and if Hill falls on his face, he figures he's there. Maybe that's why.
I suppose, but here's another one. But again, here we go with the Bears, right?
Yeah,
Jameis Winston could really help the Bears. He's not a bad quarterback. No. He's mega talented. You got to cut down on his interceptions, and I think if you go into the right system with better coaching, I mean, when he's in Tampa Bay, and granted, the last year he was there was Bruce Arians, and he threw 35 picks. But Bruce, what's he say? You got to risk it with the biscuit or something. If you want to win, you got to risk the biscuit. Risk it with the biscuit, whatever he says. But he's reckless, is my point.
Yep.
Even Tom Brady threw a lot of picks last year. So I don't know. This is weird. We'll have to wait and see. And again, Sean Payton knows more football than I forget, or he forgets more football than I know. And
that's it. Maybe Winston likes that situation, likes being there in that situation.
Maybe, but the fact that they're so high on Taysom Hill, who
I know
doesn't show me much at all. We'll see. Ty Montgomery's back, and it's pretty much about it. I didn't do anything else earth-shattering. This can we call it now? Are they the new Patriots? Are we going to hate these guys for ever?
Wow.
I mean, they brought the whole damn team back.
Godwin.
They got Fournette back. They got Godwin back. They got Gronk back.
I knew they were going to bring.
They got Shaq Barrett back. They got Sue back.
Damn.
This isn't fair. And Tom Brady's coming back.
Of course.
Yeah, and they got Giovanni Bernard too.
Yeah. Fournette was doing so well last year.
So was Ron Jones. They still have Ron Jones too.
Yes, they do.
Hey, Steelers, get on the horn to Tampa Bay and make a trade for Ronnie Jones, man. Ronnie Jones would make a nice Steeler.
And their defense is really,
Yeah. And the thing with their defense is it came together in the last third of the season.
Yeah. Yep.
I mean, they were hitting on all cylinders by the Super Bowl. They're going to be the new Patriots. They're the NFC Patriots. I'm calling it right now. We are going to be like enough
Damn,
with the Tampa Bay.
I don't want to see them back.
Put it on the calendar, man.
I know.
Tom Brady with all this talent around him.
Damn.
It's depressing. All right, let's call it. Colt McCoy and the Cardinals are going all the way.
Oh, they got their new backup.
Yep, they got their new backup. And
They
James
got James Conner. Wow.
Arizona is where old Steelers go to die. Just one after the, they just keep ending up in Arizona for some reason.
Or the Bengals.
Yeah, Tom Brady will play till he's 50. I truly believe he will, Glenzer. What is he? He's 45
I
now.
wouldn't doubt it.
45. What's 5 more years?
Uh,
He basically looks the same. His arm's weaker, but other than that,
no, I don't see that much of a weakness in his arm. I mean, he's still throwing the long ball, so I don't know.
Yeah, he's lost the zip on the out passes.
Yeah. Okay.
But you don't look at the running backs he's got.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's I'm gonna hate them. Anyway, we're not talking about Tampa Bay right now. We're talking about Arizona. AJ Green.
Yep.
Boy. Oh boy. Kelvin Beachum. Boy, they signed a lot of old guys. And James Conner, he's made of glass. Good luck with that, Arizona. He's gonna play like 3 games for you. JJ Watt. How many old guys are on this team? Malcolm Butler.
Wow, Butler.
They just went Matt Prater. Matt Prater's been kicking for 35 years. Yeah, these guys are old.
You're right.
They just signed a lot of Kelvin Beachum. When you have an offensive tackle, he's probably Kelvin Beacham's got to be about 35, 36 years old now.
These guys are old.
I got to look.
Wow.
Yeah. Let's see. Oh, he's 31. Seems older than that. But, yeah, the collection of oldies. And then, and that awesome quarterback. They're still talented, the Cardinals. And it was weird watching them last year. Like, they looked so good.
I know.
The first half of the season and so bad in the second half. It's amazing. Okay, here you go. The Goats. The Goats are going to be good. They're going to be good.
I'm guessing that they really think they're going to be able to get Stafford to play at a high. Well, I mean, he should. What is he, like 32?
Something like that.
He can still do it.
He's got a couple of solid years left in him, and he's big, strong. He's tough. He's got a better arm than Goff. You combine him with, look at the receivers they got there. Cooper Kupp and Woods, and I think he's going to be just fine. I don't know why they bothered to bring in Deshaun Jackson, who's 8 billion years old.
You'll probably see him catch a 180-yard touchdown pass, and then he'll be for the rest of the year.
Then he'll do what he did this year and like pull a hamstring and miss 8 weeks, and then come back and roll an ankle and miss 5 more. And it's amazing that you can play. What did he play for the Eagles? Like 2 games last year, and then bank 4.5 million.
Yeah, I know. Must be nice.
Only in America can you not do your job and then parlay it into $4.5 million. And Leonard Floyd comes in. So the Rams, they just made 3 little moves, and one was a trade. It wasn't even a free agency.
Right.
Because they were right there. So
it will be interesting to see Stafford in a different environment now.
Yeah, and then you got that defense as long as Aaron Donald's in there. And now we'll get to Glinzer's team, the 49ers. Hey, they brought in Nate Sudfeld, and it's good. It's all good.
Yeah.
Super Bowl. Trent Williams. Interesting. Big contract too, 6 more years. Alex Mack, that's a good signing, I think, at center.
I mean, if these guys were like right on the cusp without all those injuries, so
they're still a good team. In fact, there's a poll on the NFL.com website, which team's going to go from worst to first. And I clicked 49ers, and the 49ers are winning by a huge margin. It's like 70%.
Yep.
So if they can stay healthy, what I think they're going to do is they're going to trade Garoppolo
Okay.
on draft day. They're going to draft Mac Jones. That's who I think they're going to draft. They're going to draft Mac Jones with that 3rd pick. They're going to trade Garoppolo back to Bill Belichick.
Wow.
Bill Belichick wanted Garoppolo. That happened because Tom Brady went to Bob Kraft and cried, "Get him out of here," because Belichick was ready to make the switch.
Oh no, he wanted. Yeah. Yep. He did.
And so Brady got rid of him, and I think that's what started the bad blood with Belichick and Brady. And I think Bill wants him back. Cam Newton's the backup. They signed him to that 1-year deal to be the backup.
Can you imagine that?
Jimmy Garoppolo's coming back. And I think that's part of the reason the Patriots signed as many players as they did, so they can have something to trade to San Francisco.
Yeah, that will be an interesting draft day if that's something's going to
happen. But I'm pretty sure, however it works out, Garoppolo is probably going to be a Patriot when it's over. Yeah. That's the way I see it. I don't think Jimmy G's all that great anyway.
No, I know, but
I think he's decent. But the Super Bowl against the Chiefs, I mean, all he had to do was close that game out.
Yep.
Couldn't do it. He looked terrible in the second half. He's one of those guys, maybe like Jared Goff. When things are going good, it's great. But when things get tight, starts gripping the ball a little tighter, starts aiming those passes instead of letting them rip. I don't know. We'll see. But it also means if that happens, if I'm right, then the 49ers are going into the season with a rookie quarterback.
Yep.
Is that something they want to do? Because the rest of the team is right there. They're in a win now. They kind of are.
I know what you're saying, but they made this trade to get up there, and I think they are going to.
When they made the trade to get up to the number 3 pick, right then and there, I said Jimmy G's out. He's out. Why else would they go up that high? They're not going up that high to pick an offensive tackle. No. They're not going up that high to grab a wide receiver. They're going up that high to get a quarterback.
Yep.
And this is a quarterback-rich draft. And I think, Glinzer, and I'm nobody. It's just my opinion. But I have talked to guys at my gym who think the same thing. Mac Jones is going to be the most pro-ready guy coming out.
Really?
I think so. Yep.
Well, there must be a reason why they're so high.
Pro-ready guy. I think the first 3 picks are going to be quarterbacks. But are we at the draft yet? No. Let's get through Seattle first.
Oh look!
Holy shit! This is.
They got their backup quarterback.
I thought he was out of the game.
No.
Really? He was already there. I didn't even know he was even there. Oh, that's awesome. Geno Smith. Holy crap. Turnover machine.
Carson's a good, make sure you keep
Chris Carson. Big time.
Yeah, keep him there.
Yeah, they had to. Carlos Dunlap. That's a good one.
Look at that.
Bringing him back in. Al Woods. Wow, Al Woods. He's old. Wow.
So's Alden Smith.
Alden Smith too, yeah. Alden Smith from Dallas.
Yeah.
That was a big loss. That was dumb for the Cowboys. The Cowboys don't care about defense, though. They don't care.
No.
They just want to put up 1 million points on offense.
Apparently not.
Jerry just wants to sit there and go, ooh, they're scoring touchdowns, and then sit there like this when they're giving them up. What's going to happen with Russell Wilson?
Yep.
Is he staying? Is he going? What do you think is going to happen with that?
He's going to stay there.
What happened? Why is he all of a sudden unhappy and wants out?
Well,
what happened to Let's Go Hawks? What happened?
It was great for the first 6 weeks or maybe first half of the season, and then I don't know, something. It's like a switch.
Is he down on Pete Carroll? Is something? It's weird. It's weird.
I mean, it's not that he doesn't have weapons. He has those 2 great receivers and good running back. I mean, it must be the offensive line, I guess. I don't know what happened to them. They just went off a cliff.
Yep. Glinzer says Jimmy G's a less than Alex Smith. He had great running backs on a top level defense. Kittle, Debo, Mostert, those guys need a better quarterback. I totally agree.
Yeah.
Yes, Mac Jones, though some Bay Area sports guys think Justin Fields. Ask the Bay Area sports guys if you call in, Glinzer. How many Ohio State quarterbacks were any good in the NFL? My last count, I had 0. Can you name an Ohio State quarterback that was successful in the recent NFL? Go back 30 years even. Can you think of any?
You're right, but I have heard the same thing as him from a lot of these
That I
so-called
think that would be a mistake.
football.
And nothing against Justin Fields. It's the whatever Ohio State does, because those quarterbacks have been drafted. Ohio State quarterbacks have been drafted, and Ohio
Yep.
State's a highly successful program. Those quarterbacks do not work in the NFL for whatever reason. I can't think of a single one. Yeah, Russell Wilson should be a Steeler. Let's give him Ben Roethlisberger, a bag of used footballs, a box of kicking tees, and a water cooler for Russell Wilson.
Can you imagine if you somehow wound up getting him? Oh my
Sounds
God.
fair. Sounds fair to me.
That would be like, you guys would be ecstatic.
Can you tell I just want Big Ben gone? I don't want Roethlisberger around anymore.
Trade him from Mitch Trubisky.
That's a good idea, Mitch Trubisky.
He's a backup.
I was actually hoping that Ben would go to another team to finish his career, and I thought the Bears would be a good place for him. There's no reason for him to stay. What are they going to do with him this year? They're done. They're done. They're going to win 7 games. They're going to be 7-10 this year, maybe 8-9, maybe. Tomlin's going to have his first losing season. Ben's going to retire. And then what? They have no plan for the future. 0. And they're going to be right around 500. So they're going to be drafting low. You're not going to get a franchise quarterback unless you bundle up a whole bunch of other good players and trade to get up higher in the. They've had no plan for replacing him.
It didn't make sense.
They're screwed. They're gonna be bad for a while because they're.
Well, I'm not saying more than, but this year.
Hey, it took 20 years to replace Terry Bradshaw.
Yeah, that's true.
It could take that long to replace Roethlisberger because when you don't have a plan, they did that with Bradshaw. They never had a plan to replace him. Mark Malone, Bubby Brister, Todd Blackledge. Come on, man. These aren't franchise quarterbacks. What are you doing?
Oh, Cordell Stewart, Neil O'Donnell. Yeah. Oh, yeah. The guy who single-handedly lost that Super Bowl. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm still convinced.
They got to the Super Bowl with him.
He was the most accurate quarterback in the NFL 2 years running. His touchdown to interception ratio, or his attempts to interception ratio. He goes into that game and throws 2 picks that were. I mean, if you watch that game, every pass he was overthrowing guys. He was whipping. He put too much in it, and those 2 picks, it was like there was no one. He lobbed it to the.
There's no one near that.
Nobody near Brown. He kind of shot. He shovel passed it to him. Almost. It was like I am still. And then he ran and left and went to the Jets in free agency.
Maybe Brown promised him a big chunk of the contract he got off of that because Brown wasn't that great of a player, but he got a big contract off of that.
I'm going to put on my NFL tinfoil hat, and I've been saying this for 30 years. And then I have a Tom Jackson story that goes with it. So I think Barry Switzer took over that year.
Yep.
Very controversial that Jerry got rid of Jimmy Johnson, and it was Jimmy Johnson's team. And Barry Switzer gets to the Super Bowl. Barry Switzer was a moron, let's face it. Great college coach, horrible pro coach.
Horrible.
He didn't know what he was doing. And I don't think he had much control over his locker room or anything. I still think Neil O'Donnell made more money in a deal with Jerry Jones than he would have if he won the Super Bowl. And parlayed it into a huge contract with the Jets and never really played again.
Okay.
I think it was kind of a protect Barry Switzer move. I can see Jerry going and saying, hey, you got a nice young team. You'll be back. You'll be back here next year. if I give you this, can you?
Hey, I wouldn't put it past it.
It
Because
just
it
reeks of
looks
it.
very suspicious.
So I've thought that since that Super Bowl because it just looked too peculiar. The way he threw those 2 picks was so bizarre, and he didn't throw picks. That's the thing. O'Donnell was the most accurate guy. So I'm up at ESPN working on one of those Super Bowl shows that I always talk about where Ditka like pissed next to me or drank my coffee and kicked projectors and ran over my hand with a chair and all this stuff Ditka did to me. And we're just sitting around and I said to Tom Jackson, I said, hey, I was watching they had the Super Bowl highlight show on last night. I saw Super Bowl 12 with you in there. And Jackson goes off. That fucking Craig Morton, he took a bribe. He threw that game. He took money and ran and married. He went off. He went off.
Wow.
And I said, yeah. He goes, I know you don't believe me. And I said, no, I do believe you, Tom. I totally believe you because I've thought that of Neil O'Donnell. And he goes, oh, very similar.
Yeah. Very
If it
similar.
wasn't Jerry Jones, maybe it was some bookie.
Right.
Some guy from Vegas went and did it. Somebody. You have to give them more money than they would get winning the game
For sure.
to do that. Then again, it could just be sheer incompetence and we're crazy. But
Well, Larry Brown got a nice little contract off that.
Glinzer says, I've given up my dream of Andrew Luck returning to the NFL as a 49er. Andrew Luck was my favorite modern day quarterback. I loved Andrew Luck. I just loved to watch him play. Wow, he was really good.
Wish he had gone to a team that could protect him, still be in the league.
Yeah, exactly. If he was on the Colts now, instead of when he was. Why is this? I'm trying to find the order of the pick.
Yeah.
Hey, look at this. Did I not just say this? Did I not just say that? Well, which coach agrees with me? Who is it? Who said it? Why doesn't it say? Why do you have a headline like that and then not put it in the story unless it's in the Mac Jones write-up? Where's Mac Jones? Here he is.
Maybe it was Kyle Shanahan.
Maybe it was Kyle Shanahan. Oh, here it is. If you take one of these guys starting a game tomorrow in the NFL, he's the most ready. An NFC quarterbacks coach said. Who wants to remain anonymous. Yeah, and here's the thing, and this is why Glinzer, I think Mac Jones will be. He plays in Alabama. He's used to the spotlight. He's used to big games. He's played. They're basically an NFL light team. And he's played against the best of the best for years. So, and he's well coached, and I think he's going to be good. I think he'll be this year's Justin Herbert.
Justin Herbert, yeah. Just thinking of that.
Yep, absolutely. So I can't find the order, so I guess we'll just use this mock draft. I love these mock drafts because they're so bad. And I would just I will profess too that I am not a college football guru by any stretch.
I don't really follow it.
Yeah, so beyond the first 10, I'm gonna be like, yeah, whatever. Who knows? Yeah. But what I would like to do as we go through it is maybe see. I want to find the order of the teams because we know what they need to address. Where their deficiencies are and what they need to address. But I where's the freaking draft order? This is annoying. Give me a second here.
Where is?
You'd think it would be here's the order of picks. I went to the draft page. predict the pick. Maybe we could do that. Hang on.
Probably better off just going on Yahoo or something.
Probably. Oh, here it is. I can use
Sure.
this stupid thing. All right, we'll use this stupid thing. Stand by for stupid thing. Wait. Hold it. Which one is it? This one. Okay. How about that? We'll use this.
Oh,
It's got the teams down the left-hand column. We could actually do it. Let's do a mock draft right now. This will be fun. Lindsay, you can help us.
the problem is I'm going to run out of players after like.
Yeah, by 4. I'll be like, I'm out.
Yeah. Exactly. No, seriously.
Bigger. All right. Well, the Jags. I think they're going to take him, right?
Yeah, I mean,
right?
If they wouldn't take him, then it's like there's something.
Wouldn't that be hilarious though if they pass on him?
And then the Jets would be like, "Oh,
would the Jets take him?
We were all set on this."
I think the Jets would definitely take him.
Yeah, they would.
I think they would. What's this? Changes made. Sign up. I'm not going to save it. We're just doing this for fun here. Let's do. Can we sort by position? No. Oh yeah, up here. Do that quarterback. So I think the Jets are totally going Zach Wilson from BYU.
Yep. That's what they word out of the Jets camp. That's it.
Yep. So we'll put him in there. And then I think the 49ers are going Mac and Jones.
And that's, right. I mean, that's what you hear coming out of the 49ers anyway. So.
Oh, I think he's made for them. I think, like I said, I think that if they have a win now team, I mean, if you're going to take any rookie quarterback and try to roll the dice with a win now team, that's the guy. I don't think Lawrence or Wilson are going to be as pro ready. I don't. "2005 NFL," Glinzer says, "2005 NFL draft. How sorry are you that the 49ers didn't draft you, Aaron Rodgers? Not as sorry as the 49ers are going to be." Mac Jones. You know what, Glinzer? I'm with you too. I agree. I said that at my gym last week to my friend Anthony. I said, don't be surprised if the Jags trade out of that number 1.
What? Wow.
Well, especially after Trevor Lawrence saying something like, I'm not really into football. Like, why would you say that? Say it after they give you that rookie contract, after you get that number 1 money. It's interesting, but I think the Jags are. It's like the movie Draft Day. I see what you're doing there. The movie Draft Day, where Kevin Costner trades, he's wheeling his moon. That's a fun movie.
I like that.
Yeah, where they're the quarterback, and it turns out the quarterback in the movie said kind of the same. Where he had nobody liked him, right? Nobody showed up at his birthday party, and he was a douchebag. That's interesting. Now the Falcons at 4 could also go quarterback.
I think they will be.
You think 4 quarterbacks are going to go in the first round? 4 in a row?
I think because it's the Falcons, I think they will. What's that guy?
Who did they take? Justin Fields?
Right, so yeah, that's what I was going to say. Justin Fields.
A running quarterback?
I mean, a quarterback. I think they will.
They have a new system. Boy, I don't know. That's really interesting.
It might not be him, but I think they will take a quarterback.
Well, even if you're right, because if they do hang on to Matt Ryan, although I mean they could be just as bad and be right back here again next year. But usually you don't get too many shots at a top 5 pick, right? And that's usually when you have to draft your heir apparent franchise quarterback.
Usually.
Yeah. And Matt Ryan, when did he come in the league now? 2008 maybe? He's been around for a while. It's interesting. I know. Lance or Fields, I don't know. Boy, if they go quarterback.
Unless they trade out of that spot. But...
They might. Boy.
Maybe the Lions want to get up there.
I don't know.
Or the Broncos. No.
The Broncos this week put out a thing that they said their guy is still lock.
I know.
I don't even like why is Vic Fangio even their coach? God, I don't get the Broncos.
Actually, there'll be pure stupidity for the Lions to give up anything to go up there because they know the Bengals and the Dolphins will take a quarterback, so they still have a shot at one anyway.
Yeah, there's like what
Where they are.
seven
Yeah,
real
never
good
mind.
quarterbacks. So
I don't know how they would trade out of there, but
yeah, my God.
oh wait, unless the Patriots do it.
No, I think the
But
Patriots are
that
gonna get Jimmy G.
right, that's what I'm saying. But then it goes against that theory.
Right. I mean, that's what you can't count on here is there's gonna be trades.
Yeah,
People are gonna this board's gonna get flopped all over the place. So
but that's the excitement of
oh, I love it. I love it. And
waiting to see what they're gonna do.
the trades are the best part to me.
Yeah, I agree. Because then it's like all the other teams start scrambling. Wait a minute.
Yeah,
I got it.
I don't know. I don't know.
Okay.
I mean, the Falcons have so many deficiencies. I mean,
Yes, I
they're
agree.
a mess.
So maybe the best thing for them was the best available player in their.
Best available player. So let me figure this out.
But if he's not a quarterback, I don't know.
Let me go to all. So the best available player next is Kyle Pitts, tight end of Florida. They don't need a tight end.
No, I'm not gonna do that.
Did they go Devonta Smith? That guy's awesome. That guy's
Okay,
awesome. If you got Julio in him, that might be what they're gonna do.
I could see that.
I mean, it's not one of the needs they need to address, but how do you pass on a talent like that?
Yeah, because the Bengals will probably pick him, and
Exactly.
The Dolphins surely would if they had.
Yep.
A chance. Holy crap!
Yep. Do we give him Devonta Smith? I mean, if they were to address something they really need, they'd go down here and get Patrick Surtain.
Yeah,
And maybe they will. Maybe they will try to fix that. Their defense is atrocious.
I know.
All right, you know what? I'm
Maybe they
pulling the
will
trigger.
put
I'm
these.
giving them Patrick Surtain. I think they'll actually do the right thing.
That's probably like the best defensive prospect, I guess.
Yeah.
Kyle Pitts is really the best overall. Holy cow! Okay,
Tight end.
and the Bengals might want him then.
Who's Cincinnati's tight end? They
I know.
lost.
I can't even think of
One guy
him.
went to the Jags. The guy was always hurt. He was really good too. Eckler, not Eckler. Eifert, Tyler Eifert.
Right.
He's really talented, but he never plays. Oh boy, Cincinnati offensive line, defensive line, receiver, tight end, running back. They did lose. You don't take. How sad is it now that like the basic rule now is don't draft a running back in the first round, right?
Yep.
It's like they're that worthless. However, what have you seen in the last couple of years in the NFL? The trend, the running game is coming back.
Yep.
The stud running back, right? Cincinnati. Phew. Considering the fact that Joe Burrow got mauled last year, I think they're going to probably try to beef up their offensive line.
I mean, they've been doing that with other signings, so.
Do we give him Sewell?
Well, he's the top offensive guy. I agree. I mean, they got.
We're assuming that these guys are going to address their needs and do the right thing.
Yeah.
You got your franchise quarterback murdered last year. I think the priority should be to keep him upright. Miami would definitely go wide receiver here. No doubt about it. They're taking this guy.
Oh, yeah.
My God. And don't forget, he'd be back with Tua. They were teammates.
That's right. Oh, that's a no-brainer.
Bengals need to draft a general manager.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. That's a no-brainer if he's there.
That's a no-brainer. Detriot, actually, I think Detriot does this.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah. Goff, who does Goff have to throw the ball to? Galladay went to the Giants.
I was thinking they were just going to throw the year away and try to get but then they would get the quarterback next year. Never mind.
Yeah, no, I think they're going to try to give him a weapon, Goff. Oh, do you think they're going to go quarterback?
No, only because my thinking is they really didn't want him. They're just doing the trade for the picks. But if they don't really have one that they don't like, why not?
I can't see Lance or Fields fitting into their system.
Right. And that would be kind of like an obvious thing. Why wouldn't you just give it a try with Goff, I guess, for 1 year?
Well, yeah, if you lose your best receiver to the Giants, There's a gaping hole at that position now.
Yeah, it's true. Wow.
Let's give them chase. The Panthers, offensive line, corner, receiver, special teams, tight end.
Wow.
They actually could use a wide receiver. They're a little thin at wide receiver.
Yeah, I mean their defense is okay. I don't think they need
Waddle's
to go there.
awesome too. Another Alabama guy.
Wow, there's going to be a lot of receivers fast early on.
I don't know.
They will take
Here's true confession. I don't watch or care about Carolina as much as I don't
Yeah,
really
I
pay
know.
much attention to them. So,
I know.
boy, they did lose. They lost Luke Kuechly to retirement last year too.
Yep.
They might want to replace him in the middle.
If there's anybody good there right now.
Well, I'd say
Oh, is
Micah
that the next?
Parsons.
Oh, geez, that's the next overall guy. Okay.
Penn State's
Right.
a linebacker factory too.
Yeah.
I mean, you really can't go wrong with a Penn State linebacker. I'm going to say they need to address the middle. We'll do that. The Denver Broncos says they have a quarterback problem here.
Yeah, but if that, I understand, but if the team insists that they have their quarterback,
I know.
I don't think they're
Kuechly should unretire and join the smiley faces.
gonna.
49ers. That's what he wants. I love Luke Kuechly. He was amazing. Guy would have like almost 20 tackles every week. He was everywhere. How many picks? He'd pick the ball off. He was, forced fumbles. The guy was good. Retired too early. He had a couple of years left. What do we give Denver? Offensive line?
Offensive line.
They're getting Von Miller back. I don't know. Linebacker's a problem for them. Offensive line?
What's their running? Well, you said no running backs.
We give him Slater, Darisaw.
Yeah, they'll probably get somebody on the offensive line.
All right, we'll go with the best. We'll give him that one. Your Dallas Cowboys.
But they obviously they could use depth at the offensive line, but they got to go defense no matter what.
Oh, look at their priorities. 3 of the 5 are defense, and 1 is special teams. I mean, special teams. You don't draft special teams. You go find them.
That's and I know their secondaries are highest, probably.
So the best corner is J.C. Horn.
Yeah,
from South Carolina.
It's always hard to predict Jones because he's the one who's doing the picks, and he always likes to make the splash. Like if this corner isn't a splash person, he'll pick somebody who does. He'll pick probably another wide receiver if there was one, but he doesn't need anything.
Right.
I don't know. I'm trying to think of what their tight end. Like if that tight end is there, they'll probably pick him.
Kyle Pitts.
If he's considered that much of a prize, I don't know. But they have all their needs on defense.
It says here his rare blend of size, athleticism, and ball skills are reminiscent of Megatron.
Wow.
So he's kind of one of these tight ends who's also more like a wide receiver.
See, that's the thing.
These hybrid guys, like the guy the Steelers picked last year, Claypool.
Right. We know
compare Claypool to Megatron too.
We know they need defense, but if he can make like a splash where everybody's going to pay attention to him, it's like, oh, what a great.
Jerry's all about the flash, the offense.
He might do that. I mean, if that guy's there, I don't know.
You think so though?
He shouldn't.
I mean, their offense is pretty potent.
It is. I agree.
I think they got to fix their defense, and they lost Aldon Smith.
Yep.
I think they got to go edge.
Well, what's their next? Let's see.
They got to go. I think they should get an edge rusher. They have no pass rush, right?
I agree.
I'm going to give him this guy out of Penn State.
Where is he at?
I just put him up here.
Okay.
He was.
No, I totally agree that that's what they need. It's just trying to read him might
Well, he
not
was
have.
the highest ranked edge rusher.
Yeah,
So.
yeah, yeah. I understand that. Yeah,
Yeah,
for sure.
yeah.
Just,
The
okay,
Giants. What did the Giants do? The Giants. This is interesting. It says wide receiver, running back.
not running back.
What?
No.
No, they addressed that already. Their linebackers are already solid.
Yep.
I'd say offensive line. That's been the weakest part of their team for a long time.
I mean, I guess they could use another wide receiver, but probably offensive line is more of a big.
Yeah, you can get a
Big hole.
receiver in the second or third round. That's
Yeah.
Cowboys are the most underperforming team of the last 5. Yeah, they certainly are.
Yep.
So what do we pick? Offensive line?
Yeah.
We'll give him this guy. We don't know at this point.
It's gonna be a weird thing.
I'll screenshot this though. I won't
That'd
because
be
I
so
won't
funny.
sign up for the stupid
Let's
thing.
see, Eagles. Well, they
Wide
already got their
receiver.
quarter. Oh yeah, for sure.
I mean, what they have the rookie guy from last year who was hurt most of the year. What was his name? I forgot. Rieger. And then they had that kid they got like from out of nowhere who was awesome, and then they stopped using him. What was his name?
You're
I put him
right.
on my fantasy team. He was really good for like 4 or 5 weeks. Then they stopped throwing him the ball because Deshaun Jackson was coming back, and then he got hurt again, and Deshaun's gone now. So, you think they go wide receiver?
I think it's someone to throw to on there. I mean, they already have Zach Ertz, so I'm not sure if they're gonna pick the
Their
tight
tight
end.
ends are They have Ertz
So
and the other guy too.
yeah, that's true.
Forgot the other guy's name. We give him Waddle.
Yeah, he's good.
He is good. All right, San Diego needs defense.
They gotta have somebody on defense. I don't know what the heck they.
Says they have a problem with corner
For
and
sure.
defensive line.
Yep. Yep.
Give him a tackle. Alabama, Christian Barmore. Let's see. The next available corner would be J.C. Horn out of South Carolina. We looked at him already. This is edge rusher from Michigan. I'm not sure that pass rush is a problem though, because they have Bosa.
You're right. I think it's more of a.
I think it's more of that second layer.
Secondary.
Their second, right? Once you hit that second level,
Yep.
that's when they have a problem. I think it's their middle linebackers and their safeties and corners are the problem.
Yep. I would think they would target a corner, but I don't know if there's going to be somebody there.
Let's give them this guy. Because, I mean, everybody threw on the Chargers last year. They were bad. Minnesota.
Oh, gosh. What the heck do they need?
They need offensive line, defensive line, linebacker as priorities. They even have quarterback on there. I don't think they're going to take a quarterback. I did not like the way they ended their 1994 season, Glinzer. They beat the Steelers in the championship game. It was awful. And then got smoked by San Francisco. That wasn't even a game.
Yeah,
it was awful. I think the Steelers would have lost to the 49ers, but they would have given them a better game.
I mean, they need a bunch of players. So
let's give him this guy, a tackle, defensive tackle. Give him a nose, right?
Yep.
All right.
But see, this way, if they're still good quarterbacks, with the Patriots go after them.
Right. Do the Patriots take it? Let's assume the Patriots don't get Jimmy G.
Okay.
I mean, we can't. I mean, there's no way to account for trades.
Right. I know. It's gonna be. It's gonna look crazy. After the first three picks, it's gonna be like whatever.
Exactly. Actually, I'm looking at I think we're pretty solid on the first 5 or 6.
Yeah. No, I know.
I think all the way to Miami, we might be spot on. I think those are sound. Now,
I mean, I hope Miami gets that.
Beyond the Dolphins, it's like, well, they need this, so let's just give it to them. Patriots. This is weird, the Patriots, because don't forget, last year, Belichick had 6 or 7 guys sit out the season because of the coof.
That's true. I forgot about that.
He's getting them all back.
Getting them all
and
back.
he got Van Noy, and he got this team is like ready to go.
No, I don't think they need defense, but I think they need
I
to.
still think they're thin at wide receiver.
Yep.
Let's give them a wide receiver. How about let's give them Elijah Moore? How's that?
Yeah, like I said, unless he grabs a quarterback, but you
I don't
can't.
think he's gonna. I don't think he wants a running quarterback. He's already got one, and he's a disaster. Okay, Arizona.
What do they need?
They
Offensive
lost Patrick Peterson. They gotta. That's a hole they gotta fix.
cornerback.
Wide receiver, running back.
Really, wide receiver?
Yeah, well, Larry Fitzgerald's 900 years old.
Yeah, but don't they have DeAndre Hopkins? Is
They have
really that old?
Hopkins, but they don't have a complement to him.
Yeah.
I mean, they got Larry Fitz, and he's
Who's
107.
who's their tight end? Is this someone who's actually going to take Kyle Pitts?
Oh, maybe. Maybe. I don't know who is their tight end. If it's a Bucks Patriots Super Bowl, the ratings will be. I think that's exactly what Belichick is
Oh my
trying to do.
gosh. Are you kidding me?
You know he called Bob Kraft the minute that game was over and said, "This is bullshit."
I know, but
You know he did.
if this is a Bucks Patriots Super Bowl, it'll be the first NFL season where I'm like just
But you got to pick one. Who would you go with?
I don't know.
I would want for Bill Belichick to beat Tom Brady.
I mean, I don't want Brady to have another Super Bowl, so probably
I want Bill Belichick to beat him. I like Bill Belichick. I do. I like him a lot. I'd root for Belichick. The Cardinals.
give him the tight end.
Give him the tight end.
I mean, how is that guy still rated that high and not have been picked? Well, worse things have happened.
What's weird is these. Yeah. All right. Well,
I know.
yeah. The Raiders.
They need defense, don't they?
They need an offensive line too, I think.
And an offensive line.
Yeah, Carr gets knocked around. Looks like that's their number one priority here is OL.
Oh, okay.
OL. Yeah, I hate that. I can't like point at these without this stupid thing. Special teams, linebacker, defensive line, and corner. So, while their defense is a mess.
I know.
Which is weird. I mean, they were right there last year. They had a late season collapse, but remember in the middle of the year, we thought they were for real.
They're really good,
Yeah.
Offensive line.
Give them a pass rusher. Do they need a pass? They probably need a pass rusher, don't they? Think like Chucky.
Yeah.
Put yourself in Chucky's head. What would Chucky be saying right now? Man, if I had a pass rusher.
I really get them a home. I could get them a Mahomes. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what you would say. If
Well,
I had a pass rusher like Tampa,
that or he needs a guy that can cover Tyreek Hill.
Right. But he's like, I was a Tampa Bay coach. I wish I had those rushers.
Do we give him an edge rusher or do we give him a corner?
Whatever one's higher rating, I think.
It would be this. It would be Pay.
Okay. Yes.
Out of Michigan.
Yep. Jeez, the Dolphins again.
Yeah, you could just hear Chucky. I gotta knock the snot out of Patrick Mahomes. Not just him. He's got Herbert in that division now too.
Right.
Dolphins. We already gave him a wide receiver.
Yep. Wait, did they have that
they had trouble with blocking for Tua, didn't they?
I was gonna say either offensive line or like I know they lost that linebacker.
Yeah, in the trade.
Right. I mean they got rid of him, but is there any running backs that they might want?
There's plenty of running backs.
I know their running game wasn't. I know late in the season that there was one that started doing better.
There right now we've got 1, 2, 3 running backs on this page.
Give him a running back.
Really?
I know
out of Clemson.
I know you said
this is the one the Steelers are looking at. The Steelers are high.
Oh,
I think the Steelers are going to take him if he's available.
Yeah.
But you think Miami would take him?
I'm trying to think of what I know. The running game was a problem.
Well, let's
And
give them to them then. If they need to fix the running
yeah,
game,
that's all.
fix their running game.
I mean, obviously, everybody needs offensive line too, but
Now here's where I think this. I think after the quarterbacks go 1, 2, 3, this is where we won't see another one go till now.
right. Oh, okay. You think Washington? Oh, yeah,
I think
definitely.
Washington is
You
going
got.
to take Fields,
Yep.
and it's going to be
Okay.
a mistake, but they're going to do it.
I know. But
So,
they're going to take their if there is a good top quarterback, they'll
yep,
take him.
I think they're going to take him.
And the Bears should probably want too, but
Bay Area TV and radio still cover the Raiders like they're a Bay Area team. Weird. No, they don't want to let it go. I don't blame them. Running back in the first round, I thought them days were over. So did I.
I know, me too.
So did I, but I think Pittsburgh's going to do it too. They've been talking about Etienne the whole offseason.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. Yep.
So maybe maybe the Dolphins won't take him.
Which is funny, Glinzer, because we're saying that you're not supposed to do that anymore. But yet you see running games coming back into vogue. Tampa Bay won the Super Bowl because of their running game.
Yep.
Look at all these teams that have featured backs. They're building offenses around the running games again, which makes me happy because, especially growing up a Steelers fan with Franco Harris and Rocky Blyer, and it's 3 yards in a cloud of dust, right? It's to me, when the running game went out of vogue, it really bugged me when it was turning into video game football where they're just throwing all the time. Nobody could protect the damn lead.
Yeah, it was like 56, 51 games.
Even Pittsburgh, after Jerome Bettis retired, they couldn't protect the lead anymore. I mean, you used to have a lead in the fourth quarter. You hand the ball to the bus. The game was over. Game was over. You take the air out of the ball, right?
That's part of how the Browns are getting better. They have that running game.
There you go. Perfect example. Look at the Cleveland Browns with those two guys.
Yep.
Perfect example. Even Jacksonville last year, that running back came out of nowhere. He's really good. What the heck's his name? He's built just like Maurice Jones-Drew, too. He's like the little fire plug. The 49ers run game. There you go. I mean, like it just goes on and on. I mean, you look most of these teams now. Their offense is predicated on ball control. And I'm happy because you call them the Patriots Rams Super Bowl was boring a couple of years ago. But I actually fell asleep about 10 years earlier. That Saints Colts Super Bowl.
Oh.
I fell asleep because they kept throwing on every down. And I fell asleep in the second half. I was so bored. It was like watching someone play a video game, just chucking the ball. And everybody, they're scoring. I was like, I dozed off. I woke up just in time to see Peyton Manning throw that pick. And I laughed. Anyway, all right. The Bears. Did they go quarterback? We go back-to-back quarterbacks again? Do the Bears do this?
I think if he's there, they probably have no choice.
I mean, they're screwed. They don't have
they do, but
right now they have Nick Foles and Andy Dalton.
Yeah.
Or, do we see them get Teddy Bridgewater in a trade on draft day? They don't have to do this. But again, we don't know about trades. We got to just go with there's no trades. My gut says they go quarterback, especially because they've been taking a beating from their fans in the media for the last time they drafted a quarterback. They've got to fix that mistake.
Yep.
So, all right, we'll give them Trey Lance. The Dolts, what do the Dolts do?
They have offensive line. No, is their offensive line good?
Yeah, it's not bad.
Okay, I know their defensive line is good too.
Yeah,
they have good running back. Wow.
Yeah, they have several good running backs.
Jeez, what the heck do the Colts need?
According to this, offensive line, defensive line,
really,
tight end, corner.
Maybe a
corner. I'm thinking corner. Every team could use a corner.
Yeah, I know.
Cornerbacks are the kind of thing where you can never have enough.
Yeah.
Especially with all the new passing rules where you really can't even you like look at a guy cross-eyed and get flagged for it. So I think one of the most undervalued and underrated positions in football is corner. They have the toughest job. I mean, they got to do a job where they're basically have one hand tied behind their back all the time,
Yeah.
Just even the speed of these wide receivers. Look at a guy like Tyreek Hill, right, who goes like 0 to 60 in 4 seconds. Like, these guys are running backwards, while a guy like Hill's coming downhill full speed at them.
Yeah.
They have to go backpedal,
Exactly.
and the skill, the cornerbacks are so. All you football fan, you're looking at the game at surface level, and you're like, oh, he sucks, he's getting burned, he sucks. That's got to be the most difficult thing to do, is run backwards while a guy's coming at you full speed that runs like a 4.40,
Yeah.
right? And they're making all these crazy cuts, and you got to stay with them. You got to watch the hip. Like, it's so tough. And most of these wide receivers are always like 5 to 6 inches taller than the guy defending them, right?
Yep.
It seems like these corners are always smaller, and they're at a huge disadvantage all the time. So I think it's one of those things where you just like stock up on corners, because it's hard to find good ones.
I agree.
So do we give the Colts a corner?
Yep.
Let's give them Newsome. Come on. The Tennessee Titans need defense. There's no doubt. Let's give them this running back from Notre Dame, this linebacker, I mean.
Oh, okay.
Why not?
Definitely linebacker. Because
Notre Dame linebacker, bang, that was easy. Your New York Jets. I'll just say this about the Jets. They finally did they did the most non-Jets thing of all time this year, and hired a good coach. A really good coach.
This guy will be smart.
Robert Saleh, who everybody wanted. So they wasted no time. They did it quickly before anybody else could scoop them up. And I think what's the GM's name again? It's on the tip of my tongue. Joe Douglas actually is a smart football guy. They're in a great spot. They have a stockpile of draft picks. They have they're way under the salary cap.
Yep.
And they just got rid of their dead weight quarterback. So while it will be another rebuilding year and then probably another 5-win season, probably, they are definitely on the way up. So what do we give them? That said, how about a running back? They don't have a running back.
Oh, okay. I was going to say either that or wide receivers. If there's any good wide receivers too, but okay.
Yeah. Well, last year they had, who was there? Frank Gore.
I know.
And they traded Le'Veon Bell, and they went with Frank Gore.
Yep, you're right. No running backs.
We'll give him this guy from Alabama. Oh, Steelers. I'm giving my running backs away.
And of course, they need a running back.
The Jets took my dad. Yeah, the Jets. That was a big hire, man. When they hired Robert Saleh, they were talking on the radio that every team, whether it was 6 or 7 that needed head coaches at that time, they all wanted that guy. They all wanted him.
The Jets were smart. You know what? They got sick of having that local WFAN station just belittle them for years.
Oh, God, I know.
And they knew they had to get this guy.
They had to. I just can't understand how they hired Adam Gase after standing across the field for 2-3 years, twice a year, standing across the field, watching that guy coach and fail, and saying, the minute he's available, grab him. It's amazing to me. And if Darnold goes to Carolina and has a has the same kind of Tannehill resurgence,
oh my gosh,
it will show. Adam Gase was supposed to be a quarterback whisperer. He didn't know what to do with Tannehill. He didn't know what to do with Darnold.
Yeah.
And if Darnold succeeds in Carolina, then it's obvious that Adam Gase is the moron I think he is. So that said, the Steelers need a running back. They need a bell cow.
Are there any bell cows left?
Le'Veon Bell. They should go get him.
There you go.
They should just go get him. At this point, they can get him cheap too. He's still young. He's only 29.
Wow.
I think they should bring him back.
Can you imagine that?
Le'Veon Bell was not a malcontent. Le'Veon Bell had contract negotiation issues with the Steelers and ended up burning him. but he never like wanted to leave. He wasn't Antonio Brown. He wasn't
Right.
a douchebag. Maybe they will still. They could probably bring him in cheap. He's still out there. We'll give the Steelers this guy, I guess, since I gave the two good guys away. It's probably going to work out that the Steelers end up with Travis Etienne. That's the guy they want.
Yeah.
Jaguars.
Watching out for that.
Yeah.
Jaguars need everything. Who's the next available person?
I know, right? Just give the Jaguars a player.
I mean,
right?
Yeah, there you go. Defensive line. Is that the next guy? That's highest rated.
Next defensive line.
Well, I thought that
not on the board. We have to go down here.
Oh well. I'm sorry.
Why don't we give him an edge? I mean, they could use a pass rush, right?
Yeah.
They need offensive line too, and they're going to have to protect their investment. Could give him this guy.
Actually, I take that back. Yeah.
Give him a center.
The best offensive lineman on the board right now.
Let's give him the center from Alabama. Yeah, you're right. Can't get much better than that.
Once they get that quarterback, they know they're going to.
Well, yeah. If they're going to take Trevor Lawrence, then they got to ensure that he doesn't get killed, right? Yep. All right. We'll give him that. The Brownies. I can't believe I'm about to say what I'm about to say.
Well, they don't need a running back.
They don't need much at all.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, my God. Even Baker Mayfield proved me wrong. He proved me wrong.
I guess they could use a
Cleveland. What kind of world do we live in when the Cleveland Browns are awesome?
I guess they could use a cornerback, but other than that.
Yeah, they could.
They got rushers, the defensive.
Yeah, they got edge. They could use middle linebackers.
Yeah, all right.
They're a little soft in the middle. I've seen a lot of the Cleveland Browns. That me, that would be their biggest hole. I'll give them this guy. 49ers wanted Adam Gase after Harbaugh was fired. Holy crap, really? Wow. Browns.
He must just be
I can't believe it. Glinzer thinks the Browns are going to the Super Bowl, and you know what?
And I can't argue.
I can't argue either. Oh, as much as I hate them, as much as I like to say they're still the Browns, they've turned the corner.
Well,
they've turned the corner.
Looks like
and Mayfield is freaking for real. And I like Baker Mayfield, but I thought he was the next Johnny Manziel because he's small. But no. I think he threw one pick in the whole second half of the season, right? The last 11 games or something. He threw one pick.
And
he was a turnover machine before that.
And we talked about on the show what the key to that, just taking one pick. The fact that what's his name got injured.
Oh yeah, right. Once Beckham went out, and
that was it.
And who called it? Who said this addition by subtraction?
Yeah,
that guy was albatross. Yeah, Beckham was an albatross around Mayfield's neck, and it's because I saw it with Antonio Brown and Roethlisberger. When you have these diva wide receivers that bitch about the amount of times they get the ball, and you feel like you've got to force a few in there instead of going, it just throws off the whole game plan. They're so disruptive, these divas. I can't stand them. If I was a GM or a coach and one of these guys started that prima donna shit, gone. Just get rid of him. Gone.
That being said, he's still on the team.
So what's going to happen? Who wants him?
Right.
So get rid of him.
So what's going to happen when the Browns play him?
They might have to just outright release him.
Right.
They might do that. He's a giant. He's a colossal pain in the ass. Look, Antonio Brown is a free agent. Even the Bucs didn't bring him back. These guys are colossal pains in the asses. They are not worth
it.
They're not worth 10 touchdowns a year. They're just not. You can get that somewhere else. You can get 7 of those touchdowns back from other guys. So what do you lose in the end? A net loss of 2 to 3 touchdowns, and you get rid of the headache in the locker room?
Yeah.
I don't understand why they always put up with this nonsense with these. It's the same story each time. T.O. and Keyshawn and one after the other. Yeah, Larry Fitzgerald is the best non-diva. Larry Fitzgerald's world class, man. He belongs in the Hall of Fame as a football player, and he belongs in the world class human being Hall of Fame.
Yep.
Larry Fitz is awesome. Your Baltimore Ravens. They lost Matt Judon, so I say they need a linebacker. An edge rusher, specifically.
What about the wide receivers?
Oh, their wide receivers suck.
I know.
But I think, see, John Harbaugh, it's funny because the Ravens and the Steelers are always kind of mirror one another, even in their philosophies. And I could see John Harbaugh saying, we can get a decent wide receiver in the second, third, fourth rounds. I don't think he's going to want to burn a late round first on a wide receiver.
Okay.
I think he'd address something more. Matt Judon was a huge part of their defense. He was really disruptive, and he's gone. I think they're going to go after an edge rusher.
Okay.
I think this is the guy they're going to get, or one of these edge rushers.
Yep.
We'll give him this guy. The Aints. They lost Manny Sanders at wide receiver.
Yeah, they're okay with the running back, but you're right.
Their defense,
it's decent. I mean,
it's
I know
decent.
it's gotten
We'll call it solid. It's solid. Corner.
Yeah, either corner or wide receiver. I think their offensive line's okay.
Yeah. Yeah, offensive line's not even one of the 5 needs.
Yeah, no.
So do we give him Tyson Campbell or do we give him Tony?
Tyson Campbell.
Tyson Campbell, cornerback, Georgia. The Packers from the frozen tundra.
Let's see, who does Aaron Rodgers want? And we'll pick the opposite of that.
Talk about a pain in the ass diva. Aaron Rodgers.
I don't think they're going to pick another quarterback.
He's an all-world talent, but what a pain in the ass he is.
I know.
I think this is his last year in Green Bay, too.
Yeah. Okay, they re-signed their running back. They got good receivers. It's got to be somebody else.
They have a good receiver.
Okay.
Well, think about it.
That's true. He only kept going to that.
Yeah, what's that guy? Valdez Scanling, underachieving so far. Yeah, he loves. God, who is that guy? Devontae Adams. Oh my God.
Yep.
I think Devontae have 18 or 19 touchdowns this year.
Didn't he go to that? What was the other guy? Lazard or something like that?
Lazard's pretty good, but again, he's also like Valdez Scanling.
Yeah.
Both of them are like. They're like number 3. They don't have a number 2. They have a number 1 in Adams, and then there's 2 number 3 receivers.
Yep.
But their tight end is great.
Yep.
Their tight end is great. I don't think they need offensive help at this point.
No. Maybe
their
a rusher.
Defense is suspect. Corner
or rusher. One of the two.
They could use a rusher.
Yeah.
Let's give him this guy here from Miami, Jalen Phillips. Glinzer says, if this is Rodgers last year in Green Bay, watch him go to the Saints and win another ring. Oh, God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good point.
Yeah, or Bill Belichick will get him.
Yeah, one of these teams that's... You're right.
Can you imagine? It's amazing, though, and you can tell that this is the kind of dysfunction I think he brings to the locker room. He might be the most talented, raw talent quarterback in the league, Aaron Rodgers.
Yep.
I've back when he was in his prime and Brady was in his, I always said, I think the guy in Green Bay is way better than Tom Brady as a quarterback. Brady's got the head, but Aaron Rodgers has the raw talent.
Yep.
The fact that Aaron Rodgers has 1 Super Bowl win, kind of shows there's something's not right, because he's had a lot of talent around him. And you go back to the year they beat the Steelers in the Super Bowl, when they had those linebackers. They had Matthews and Hawk, and the defense was sick. And so was their offense. Like they should have won a couple more. They at least have gotten there. Yeah, and every year they do the same paper tiger trick in the playoffs. Oh, we're 13-3 in home field, and then they go and get whomped by Seattle or something. It just there's something not right. And
Yeah.
granted, I don't think their head coach was the smartest guy either. What's his name? The guy that's in Dallas right now.
Yeah.
Mike McCarthy. I don't think he's any sort of football genius by any stretch, but and I'm not so sure about Matt LaFleur. We'll see. I think Aaron Rodgers is a pain in the ass and he's hard to deal with and hard to control. And I don't think he listens. Even just going to that playoff game this year, that third, was it a third down? It was a third down, right? And he
yeah.
went in for the touchdown and he didn't.
Could have.
And then they kicked a field goal instead of going for it on fourth down with like 2 minutes to go.
I don't even want to think about that. Holy shit.
It was crazy.
A field goal didn't give them anything.
Right. And I just
because they still have to come back and score a touchdown.
They didn't even get the ball back after that.
Right. But even if they did.
Right.
Even if they did. Like the field goal would have saved them anything.
Yeah. And I remember in the post game, Aaron Rodgers was kind of like he threw the coaches under the bus and stuff for that. And it was like, I don't know. I just think he's an asshole. And I've heard he's an asshole. So, it's too bad. But everyone thought Rodgers would win more rings than Favre. Yeah. He had a lot more talent than Favre had around him.
Yep.
And Rodgers is more careful. Like Rodgers is a very methodical quarterback. Favre was just a gunslinger. He just chucked it all over the place. He heaved it. I loved watching Brett Favre because he was playing backyard football.
Yep.
He was nuts. Remember that playoff game against the Rams? He threw like 6 picks. What are you doing, man?
Yeah, he just kept doubling down. Nope.
You ever see him get interviewed about that game?
No.
Oh, it's hilarious. He goes, like after the third pick, I'm walking back to the sidelines. I'm waiting for you're done. We're sitting you down. And he's like, nobody said nothing. So I go back in, throw a fourth one. And I'm like, now they're going to pull me. Nobody says nothing. Go and throw another one.
Hey, at least he didn't get timid or anything. He just
That's why I love Brett Favre, because nothing bothered him. He was like, meh.
Good. That's what he needed.
Oh, well. It's just football, right? Brett Favre was so much fun to watch. The Buffalo Bills. They got exposed on their offensive line, but as we saw through free agency, they got like 7 of them. So I don't know. What do the Bills really need? Maybe another pass rusher? This is another team that's right there. They're right there.
Right.
If Allen has a season like that again, they could very well go all the way.
They pretty much got everybody except for
Yep. And they brought in another wide receiver now. Boy, what do you give a team that has everything already? This is like the rich kid at Christmas. Like, what do you give the rich kid at Christmas? It got everything he wants.
Give him a cornerback.
Give him a cornerback because you can never have too many.
Well, no, because I was thinking how the Ravens were like their strength was running, but we knew that Buffalo Bills defense was run defense, but they weren't that great at
the pass.
So I don't know.
Yeah, no, you're right. They couldn't stop Kansas City at all in that playoff game. So we'll give them that. The Ravens, 2 picks in the first round, huh?
Yeah. Oh, okay. They're there. Okay.
So what did we give them last time?
It wasn't a receiver, was it?
We gave them. Why won't this open? Can I open?
Oh,
who is this guy? What did we give them? Here it is. We gave him an edge rusher.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. Do we give him a receiver?
Yeah, I think so.
Let's give him the kid from LSU here, Terrace Marshall. And that leads the Tampa Bay Brady's.
The Buccaneers, they can just skip their pick.
They
don't need anybody.
They should just say, you know what?
They're like, pass. I got everybody.
Glinzer says the night Favre's dad died, he threw 4 touchdowns, 400 yards against the Raiders, and even the Oakland fans. That was awesome. That was awesome. I remember that. I watched that game. That was a Monday Night Football game, wasn't it? If I'm not mistaken. Sunday night or Monday night. It was on prime time. Yeah. That was awesome. I love Brett Favre. Brett Favre to me reminded me because I grew up watching Terry Bradshaw, who played very much the same way. Terry Bradshaw was the riverboat gambler guy too. You know, I remember Terry saying, "Look, I figure if I throw 6 balls deep, I'm gonna hit one of them."
And he was right.
He was right. One might get picked, 4 might get dropped, but I'm gonna hit that one for the touchdown.
Yeah, he's right. Yeah.
Monday night, yeah, I thought so. What do we give this freaking chump ass Buccaneers?
There's nobody.
You know what? Actually, you know what they need?
What do they need?
They need a quarterback.
Well,
Tom Brady's 45.
yeah, I understand what you're saying.
They have no plan. They need a quarterback.
I'm trying to think.
If you're picking 32, you have everything you need. They have everything they need. I don't think they have a
future quarterback.
Their offensive line has a few weaknesses, maybe if you had to pick one spot on their team that doesn't really work well, it might be the offensive line. Brady got hit a lot. Except, in the beginning, the playoff stretch, he didn't get touched, but before that, he was getting the shit knocked out of him.
Who's the backup? Colt McCoy?
No.
Mike Lennon?
No.
I can't think of his. I can't believe I can't think of it.
Jimmy G backing up Brady in Tampa. Imagine that.
That'd be awesome. I would love that.
I'd pay money to see that. When the cameras are like, oh, why are they sitting 35 feet apart? They don't like each other, I don't think. I'm going to the team right now. I'm going to look up the
what the heck happened?
The Trash Bay 49ers. God, I already hate them. Oh, God. I have to share this now. We'll come back to this draft thing in a second. Oh, my God.
It's a big trade that happened while we're talking.
No. Worse. Look at their homepage.
Of course.
Oh, my God. Stanley Cup. That's Lombardi Trophy. Whatever those other 2 trophies are for. Let's see. Lombardi Trophy, Stanley Cup. Oh, the Tampa Bay Rays William Hartridge Trophy because they were World Series runner-up. They lost the World Series. And the Rowdies USL Eastern Conference Championship Trophy.
No jump rope trophy?
It was a jump rope trophy, I believe. Since I'm sharing this, we'll just go here, sort by position. And quarterbacks. Blaine Gabbert. That's right.
Oh, okay.
Oh, wait. No, he's a free agent. He's not actually on the team. They'll probably bring him back for dirt.
I was going to say
Ryan Griffin is right now backing up.
I'll say they'll pick a quarterback then.
All right. Let me go back.
Whoever it is, they'll pick a quarterback.
Yeah. What's left?
I know.
Where's the draft thing? Here it is. Predict a pick. All right.
I know there's gotta be.
Let's see. The next available QB.
Wait.
Oh boy. Maybe they won't do this then.
Okay. Wow.
There's no more first round rated quarterbacks.
Okay. Maybe they won't.
So they won't.
One of these other ones may be there too.
But their line is weak. So we'll give them a guard, maybe. Guard or a tackle?
Guard.
All right. That's our mock draft. Couple of chuckers we are, man. So, but I do think our top 6 is pretty sound. I think we're going to be close with these.
Oh, I'd be real happy if the Dolphins
screen cap the first 12. So let's see, and then 12 through. And then I'll grab that. All right. So I screen capped our draft. So we have photographic evidence of our shitty picks. Watch us be pretty good, right? It's like some of the years I don't pay much attention to college basketball at all, and I got to do a bracket because do a bracket. All right, I just wing it, and I do awesome. And the years I pay total attention, and I'm like analyzing it, I get crushed. I lose the bracket right day one. Yeah. So, and that would have been fun. This year I paid no attention because it was with the COOF, the way the college basketball was like canceling games. And remember the Carolina Tar Heels tweeted, like, does anybody want to play us?
Yeah.
Remember, like, they just wanted someone to play. So I didn't pay any attention to it at all. And, and I know, like, everybody's brackets got exploded because it was just a nightmare of a tournament as far as, like, upsets.
Yep.
But that would have been fun. Next year we'll do that. We'll cover that because that's always a fun time. But this year I was like, these fake seasons, I can't.
Right.
So that's what was nice about the NFL. They actually had like a real
season, yeah. This
year
will
now
be
I'm
an
glad
extra
baseball is. I know baseball, I think Biden was even begging them, cut it in half. And, they were like, screw you, we're doing it. So I'm glad they're doing it. And they haven't had too many cancellations, have they?
I haven't heard of much at all about, that type of cancellation. I mean,
Right.
obviously there's rainouts, but
right. I don't think there's been
or maybe there's political ones, but not any dealing with getting sick.
No, I know. There's been some in the NHL. I know, like the Penguins were supposed to play the Devils and they couldn't because the Devils had 4 guys or something. But that's even slowed down. The NHL's been going just fine. So there's light at the end of the tunnel finally. Thank God.
Yep.
MLB and NBA ratings have dipped. The NFL ratings won't. Yeah, MLB and NBA are sinking fast, and they don't help themselves when they do things like taking the All-Star game out of Atlanta because they're, people watch baseball to get away from politics.
Yep.
If we wanted to just watch CNN, we won't watch baseball. I mean, it's just
exactly.
God, the virtue signals. It just drives me nuts. And all they do is hurt their product. Because when they did that, I said, oh, okay, screw you.
Yeah.
I'm not paying for MLB TV. Screw you. I don't even want to watch baseball with no crowds yet. I know Texas has crowds. And I know the Yankees have what are the Yankees letting 1,900 people in the stadium?
I don't even know because I
purposely what's the point?
Yeah.
You have a 60,000 seat stadium and you're only going to let 2,000 people in there? That makes no sense.
I know.
You only have to stay 6 feet apart, right?
Yeah, you could probably fill at least a quarter of it.
You could do half.
Yeah.
And I'm surprised these teams aren't making more noise. Like, hey, we're going out of business. We're turning the lights on and paying. We're firing up the jumbotrons and we got this whole stadium lit up for 2,000 people. Come on.
Yeah, the player salaries aren't getting cut or anything like that. So. Yeah.
No, the baseball players are obnoxious. The baseball players are ridiculous. They wanted the season shortened, but they wanted the 162 game pay.
Right.
They are ridiculous. They don't realize how much damage they're doing to a game that the youth barely even cares about anymore.
Yep.
And I love when I see little leaguers at like Dairy Queen and stuff. I'm so excited because I love baseball. I grew up a huge baseball guy. I lived baseball. First thing in the morning, I'd get the paper and read all the batting average stats and all the box scores. And I loved it. And go down to the store on my bike and get baseball card. Baseball was my life as a kid. And modern kids, baseball.
Crap. Nope.
No. And you really realize how slow and dull it is when you put a game on TV and there's no crowd.
Yep.
It's like, holy shit. It's bad enough on TV with a crowd.
Yeah. MLB did it to themselves.
They did. And now they're trying these stupid gimmicks to try to speed up the game and make it more, put a runner on second base in extra innings.
Yep.
7-inning double headers like the minor leagues do.
That was the other one. Yeah.
No. The only one I agree with is the pitch clock. That's the problem with baseball. You think back to the mid-aughts, right? When you had like Nomar Garciaparra, the human rain delay. After every pitch, the guy'd step out, he'd pull every finger on both gloves and restrap it, and then stop it. Just stop it. You should have to stay there.
Yep. I agree.
And like I said earlier, Tony La Russa is very much to blame for all this with all the pitching changes. And I do like that rule too, that they want, like, if a pitcher comes in, he's got to face at least 3 batters.
Right. I like
I
that
like
too.
that too, because they're coming in, they're pitching to one guy and they're going out, and you get
Yeah.
2 more minutes for another guy to come in
Like
and warm up, and that's obnoxious.
3 pitching changes in 1 inning or whatever.
God, when I was a kid, man, Steve Carlton would like every time he went out, he'd pitch a complete game. I grew up watching Nolan Ryan and Tom Seaver and Steve Carlton and John Candelaria and all these awesome pitchers that would just pitch till their arms fell off. And now, we got to shut Strasburg down in August.
Too many innings.
I know we're in the playoff hunt and he's our best pitcher, but he's logged 250 innings. We got to sit him down. It's ridiculous. It is ridiculous. Oh, yeah, the softball rule. Yeah, I hate the 1 pitch for an intentional walk. Wait till they just go. They'll just point and say,
Right.
put on.
I mean, what's the difference?
Because Derek Jeter did it more than once. They'd throw that pitch and he'd jump out and hit it. Yep. That's awesome.
Yep. That was good.
When I want to watch baseball, I just rewatched Game 7 of the 2014 World Series. I have the 1979 World Series on DVD, Pirates-Orioles.
Wow. Oh, okay.
What a different game. Each one of those games, there's no commercials, of course, but it's the entire game. Hour 50, 2 hours 10. They were just moving. Pitcher got the ball back. Bang, next pitch. It's the way it's supposed to be.
Yep.
And I got to tell the story again, because you never know who's watching. But when the Pirates went down 3-1 against the Orioles, and they only had one more game at home, they had to go. If they were going to come back and win in 7, they had to go to Baltimore to do it. My friend Pete Marquez started teasing me. 4th grade. I was in 4th grade. Started teasing me. Pirates are screwed. And I said, Pete, I bet you $5 they come back and win the series. Down 3-1. He goes, you're on. He paid me in pennies.
Oh.
He came to school and gave me a big bag of pennies. 500 pennies. And I didn't care because I beat him. And the Pirates were champs.
Yeah.
And the Steelers were champs. It was great to be a Pittsburgh sports fan in the late 70s. Yeah, that's when the Penguins were the embarrassment of the town. Now the Pirates are the embarrassment of the town. But they're doing all right. The Pirates, I'm surprised this year. The Pirates are, let me take a quick look. I know we got to get going here.
Yeah. I like the 6 comment there.
I would love to sit in an empty stadium. Then the players could.
Yeah. They
could
use your advice. 6.
I took my aunt to my aunt who lived in Pittsburgh. She passed away. I took her to Steelers training camp in 2003 or 4. It was the year Troy Polamalu was drafted. And she had never been there. And she lived in Pittsburgh. And I took her to the camp, and she was like 4'10", tiny little lady. And the players, they're coming down the sidewalk, and all the offensive linemen, they're huge, And she's sitting there going, you boys were awful last year. You need to get your act together. She just starts chewing them a new one, and they're all going, sorry, ma'am. Yes, okay. We'll do better, I promise. And it was so awesome. It was so cute. I wish I had it on video. So when 6, you said that reminded me of her doing that. Velcro batting gloves has increased MLB game time. Oh, tell me about it.
Oh, yeah.
That's why I loved Jorge Posada. No gloves. Yankees up 3-0 to the Sox.
Yeah, that was my worst time.
Yeah, I told my brother that night. What was the final score? Like 19-3? And my brother was like, oh, they're done. I said, no, I think they just shot their wad. I think they're going to be in trouble. And they were.
Wow. And in the 4th game, they almost won that game. And then that was it.
Yeah.
It was either going to be a sweep or just they were going to lose the whole thing. They blew it.
Yep. Because you know what happens? You start grinding the bats a little bit tighter.
And then that's it.
Yeah.
Start getting nervous.
It's Jared Goff. He starts holding the ball too tight and aiming. And yeah. You got to play loose. That's what Brett Favre. Just play loose. Yeah, they shot their wad.
That's true.
Culture Casino.
Just throw another.
They
Throw another.
did. 19
I
wins.
agree.
That's bad.
Yeah.
That's not good. They should have saved a few.
Should have saved it for the next
Yep.
day.
Yep.
Oh.
And it's that thing, you don't want to show up your opponent because then you're in big doo-doo. So, all right. Well, holy crap. I just looked at how long we've been doing.
I know. I gotta go to sleep.
This should have been 3 shows, not 1.
I know.
Well, all right. We caught up on our football.
Or one day.
Yeah, right.
Now we'll have to wait for the draft.
I know. That's Thursday.
Holy cow! It's already next Thursday.
No, it's like this coming Thursday.
Meaning, yeah.
Yeah. I know. I hope I can stay awake.
Holy cow!
Well, I'll print out our picks and we'll text each other. See how we did.
I can't believe the draft is here already. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this has to be done now.
We do know some sports ball. Yeah, we're pretty big sports fans here. So yeah, we really know our football.
Hey, it's part of pop culture, right?
No, of course, it's entertainment. Yeah. So. All right.
Yeah.
Let's call it a night.
I thought it was going to be an hour.
I thought it was going to be an hour too.
Damn it.
Whoops. Yeah, we talk too much. Oh, well. All right.
Okay.
Well, I'll talk to you later, Edson. That was a good one.
Yeah.
Thank you, chat. Thank you, Glinzer.
I'm glad somebody was here.
Well, we got to bring Glinzer on to our sports shows because he's very knowledgeable.
Yeah, he's very.
Yeah, we'll have to do that. We'll invite you next time, Glinzer. When we do, when the football season starts, you might want to be part of this, Glinzer. We do a preview show. We do our picks. And then after the Monday night game is over, we do recap. So it's fun.
We know you were here. We don't know you like football, though.
And until further notice, you don't want to come on here. So, but
well,
yeah.
If you want to talk football, yeah.
Yeah, anybody who wants to talk football is welcome here when football starts. Actually, we'll probably do a couple more off-season shows.
Yeah.
But
hey, training camp is right around the corner.
Training camp is
That's
before you know it, will be like it's Christmas again, and
it's playoff time, and I'm winning.
Camera try. You could do this. You could just do this. That's all you need to do.
There you go. Yeah.
Yep. Oh, Six loves football. So
all right,
coming on too.
All
right.
The two of you are all right then.
Yeah, you're in.
More interesting.
Exactly. Who wants to listen to me and you?
Yep.
That's what I said before.
So
can't win.
Oh my gosh.
Do you know Soccer Culture Casino? You should do a soccer show. I know nothing about soccer.
Hey,
cures my insomnia.
Hey, Culture Casino, when the World Cup comes around, we really got to do something with that.
Yeah, Edson knows a lot about soccer.
I usually just only pay attention to when the World Cup comes around. Both men and women's. I like them both. So.
You know, my brother gets into it for World Cup. You get my brother on here.
Yeah, that would be good.
I know nothing about soccer. I still got to get my nephew to do his stupid hockey shows that he keeps saying. I gave him a microphone and everything. I said, here's all the stuff.
There you go.
Idiot. You hear me, Jeff? You're an idiot. All right.
Yeah. Okay.
We're going to babble this thing into oblivion. I represent the Roller Derby Hopscotch League. Well, how about mud volleyball? Mud volleyball's fun. All right.
All right.
Good Thanks, guys. Thank you, chat. We'll talk to you guys later. Bye.
Koalas in the rain. Koalas in the rain. No fucks given. Koala, koala. Koalas in the rain. Koalas in the rain. No fucks given. Koala, koala. Koalas in the rain. Koalas in the rain. No fucks given. Koala, koala.
If you like this video, please subscribe to the channel. If you subscribe, make sure you click the little bell icon to be notified anytime someone from our show drops new content here. Thanks for watching, and we'll talk to you soon.
say, kids? What time is it?